What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me, but I just got home off of an early morning flight, right? First thing through the door, I want to see my family. I love my family. You know, I'm a family man. I'm an advocate for families, right? Second thing, I got to get that hot shower because I got to throw the threads on. The threads make me feel like $1,000,000, but the third thing through my mind and all throughout the trip is that I gotta have that Teej pack. Teej makes my life uncomplicated. It's uncomplicated skincare for men. The first way that I started specifically was their level 1 system. It's a daily face wash to get rid of the dirt and grime on your skin. 2 times per week exfoliating scrub to get rid of the dead skin cells. An AM moisturizer with SPF 20 because you should always be protecting your skin from the sun. And a PM moisturizer to help your skin stay hydrated and healthy throughout the night. Here's the thing. My favorite part about Tiffany Henyard is that every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. They really making the process of achieving and maintaining amazing skin for men uncomplicated. In addition to amazing skin, members of Tiffany Henyard get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off the retail price, the ability to customize your box, exclusive monthly deals, you can pause and cancel at any time, and you get free shipping. And because Tiffany Henyard is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers an amazing deal, right? Just click the first link in the description and you get 30% off your first box, plus a free gift. It's an amazing deal. You got to get started today. You're not out here trying to look like a dusty. And if you travel as much as I do, which I'm sure most people don't, but you know me, I'm pushing my bag chasers in order to be in the top 5%, top 10%, top 1%. We got to make our lives uncomplicated, and Tiffany Henyard is no better product. You got to look good. You got to smell good. And you can't be looking like a dusty. Make sure you get started today. Click the link in the description. Get that Teej pack. Feel the Teej, my friends. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels, and I absolutely appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you. What up, friends and family? Can I get a mental health check in the chat? Can I get a mental health check in the chat? One word only. Let me see what y'all talking about. I'm curious. I'm curious as to what the people's sentiment is that's inside of the chat. Let me get one word as to how it is that y'all seeing things, how y'all operating, and whether or not y'all in a good space. What's today? Wednesday? Woo, I thought it was Tuesday. It's Wednesday. This week is moving fast. Fast pass on a fast pass. Focused, resilient, sleepy, artistic, phenomenal, superb, stupendous, Wednesday, happy, fulfillment, frustrated. What up, Les? What's happening, Leslie? Working, overtime grind, determined, grandiose, restructuring, excited, kosher, dynamite, humble, working, good, tired, motivated. You almost at the end of the week. Pushing, you halfway there, blessed, refreshed, new beginnings, eager, positive, sad. Why you sad, Eileen? All my ladies, I'm gonna need y'all to perk up. Determined, stupendous, perseverance, studying, blessed, profitable. I like profitable. Driven, God blessed. I'm actually dropping a new video on the Patreon probably Friday, and then I got Stock Club on Sunday. Blessed, driven, confused, studying at the gym. I like that. Curious, jovial, blessed, lovely, phenomenal. What up, Wealth Building Journey? What up? Tennessee Hennessy is in the building. Azriel, Charles Pride, Big J, CEJ So Chill said they relax. Sinosaur says petty, focused, moving along, perky, motivated, pensive, salute, humble, learning, ambitious, working. Shout out to Tiana Taylor. I like you. Blessed, confidence, Big One M Dub is in the building. Shout out to Big One M Dub. Kevin Cunningham says productive and purpose, chilling. All right, so y'all trying to get crazy. Said he tricking off. Hopeful, high, multitask. All right, so once we start getting into the craziness, then we got to go ahead and get started with the show. What up, friends and family? How y'all feeling out here in these streets? It is Wednesday, February 7th, 2024. Year of our Lord. We are halfway there. Got a couple housekeeping things that I want to go over, and then we want to get into the show. First and foremost, I want to say I appreciate you. I appreciate you for always holding me down, always having my best interest at heart, your best interest at heart, and we're going to run it up. We're going to take care of business, we're going to run it up, and we're going to do the things that's in our own best interest. Secondly, make sure you support the Teej Hanley. 30% off your first order plus a free gift. That link is in the description. Ladies, get it for the fellas. Fellas, don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. Make sure you get that Teej pack, because if you don't have the Teej pack, then you're going to be out here looking dusty. So we got to be very, very careful that we're not dusty out here in these streets, and we got to look good. Because when you look good, you feel good. And when you feel good, you operate in your purpose. And you don't let nobody distract you from what you're supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? We got to look good. We got to feel good. Mary Lazo says, thank you for everything that you do. You inspire us to keep pushing. No, thank you. Because we are all interconnected. And so when I'm supposed to be at the time that I'm not supposed to be at, guess who hold me up? You do. You do. And when you're not supposed to be what you're not supposed to be, or when you're not what you're supposed to be, guess who holds you up? I do. And so we make sure that we tap in with each other. If you want to align yourself with a group of people that's going in the direction that you're going in, make sure you tap into the Patreon. It's never too late for you to do the thing that's in your own best interest. Tap into the Bag Chasers, tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Also, so tomorrow, I will have a show here for you guys. However, at the time that the show is going to be happening, I'm going to be sitting in the chat watching the show at the same time as you guys. Well, 2 reasons for that. Number 1 is because I don't miss. Number 2 is because I actually like to watch my own shows. Actually, a third reason. And the third reason is because I will officially be watching over the movers as they move a lot of my new furniture into my new penthouse. So we've been talking about that for a long time. Yes, we have. And so tomorrow I have a window that I have to be making sure that I get everything taken care of. And that window just so happens to be at the exact same time that we would normally do the Millionaire Morning Show. So as a result, I have to do a little bit of pivoting. And we are going to be making sure that I get that thing done. But I still have a show for you guys. So the show will be pre-recorded. I have not recorded it yet, but I know what I'm going to talk about. It may be a little bit of Tiffany Henyard in there. We never know. We definitely going to dress her today. But we definitely going to make sure that you guys get a show for tomorrow, because we do not miss. And I will be watching in the clouds at the show or during the show at the same time as you guys. And so I don't want you guys to miss. I'm still going to get you through your day. It will not be as awesome because we won't be interacting in real time as far as me looking at the chat and asking y'all how y'all doing. But I promise you I'm going to make it as close as possible. As close as possible. I will not leave you guys hanging. You will have a show tomorrow. It is going to be at the same time that we normally do. And so if you thought that you was going to be able to skip out on class tomorrow, you can forget about it. Nope. You can forget about it. And I'm going to be here watching with y'all, making sure y'all do what y'all supposed to do. You got that? All right. So we're going to be getting our show in tomorrow. That's just a little bit of housekeeping. Again, make sure you tap into the Patreon. The link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. What up, Cartez Cookies? What up, Loso Way? What up, Lisa Hicks? What up, Trees? What up, friends and family? What up? All right. So now that we got the housekeeping out of the way, how about y'all say we go ahead and get into the show? And if I think of anything else, I feel like I'm forgetting something. If I think of anything else, then we'll get into that and I'll make that announcement. But we got a full show for y'all today. And it's largely going to center around Tiffany Henyard and what is going on in the migrant crisis and what's going on in the turkey hut. I heard that y'all out here fumbling the bag and y'all got bad leadership. And so the name of this show is going to be called Horrible Bosses. Yes. And everything about this show is going to be based in leadership. Everything about this show is going to be based off of leadership. Meaning that there's a lot of people that want to be a boss. It's a lot of people that want to be a boss, but very few people actually understand what it takes in order to be a great leader. But I'm going to teach you today. And I wanted to set the mood correctly by, I didn't want to talk and go into Tiffany Henyard yesterday because we got a lot that we're going to be doing with her lately, right? She's become more defiant. Can I just say this really quickly? I got a video that's gonna be dropping on the other Anton Daniels, on the Anton Daniels channel. And this is what I've noticed about women in general before we get into the show today. It seems like, and maybe, of course, we're not talking about the women that's the bag chasers. We're not talking about the women that's rocking out with us here today. It seems like women have become mean. What's up, Ari? It seems like women are becoming mean, like y'all are getting vicious. I was doing a show last night on After Hours. Shout out to everybody that's a part of After Hours and that's subscribed to that channel. And I was looking at the balloon game. And then it seems like not only on the balloon game, because those women were so focused. I mean, it seems like guys are becoming nicer, but they're just no longer tolerating the behavior that they see on a regular basis. And women are becoming meaner. I mean, and when I say mean, I mean vicious. What is up? What is wrong with y'all? Like, why are y'all so mean? Why are y'all so vicious? What is that spirit that's on y'all? Honestly, what's up with y'all? What's going on? Did I miss something? Did something happen that I'm not aware of? Because I thought that I was going to look at the review video for that yesterday. We talked about Jay-Z and the Grammys. We talked about Aiden Ross. We talked about Playboy Cardi. We talked about Shannon Sharp. But it's like, thank you, A.R. Smitty. I appreciate you for loving the show last night. After Hours is dope. But it's almost like, it's like it's not just like a mean, like, because, I understand when women are out and about, and let's just say, for example, somebody try to talk to them and they trying to figure out a nice way to turn them down or to just let them know politely, hey, listen, I'm not interested, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I get that, right? Sometimes, you have to be a little bit more ignoring of the people that are around you so that you don't get called out of your name. Listen, I'm not unaware of what happens out here in these streets. I get it. But it's a difference between that and what I'm seeing. It's a huge difference between that and what I'm seeing. And I'm seeing women, y'all act like, and I'm going to say it specifically. I'm going to just keep it 100. I see it more with black women than any other group of women. I see it more with black women than any other group of women. It's like a viciousness. It's like y'all say things that you just want to tear a person's whole disposition down. What up, Mika? It's like you want to figure out what's the worst thing that you can say to him and dig into that. That's one of the reasons why guys largely reserve themselves from ever really sharing their deepest, darkest thoughts with women, because they genuinely are scared that you are going to leverage that and use it against them. You're going to find out when you say you love them, but then at the same time, you're going to use it against them when it's not convenient for you, and it's going to turn into an ugly situation. And I am so curious as to why that is. Before I get into the super chats, before I get into the show, I don't know why it's such a viciousness. It's like when women fight against each other, when men fight, even if you fighting a family member, let's say you get into it with a family member, your brother, your sister, whatever, right? Men, like, in a lot of instances, they wrestle. You know what I'm saying? They may hit each other. It may be some accidental punching or stuff like that, but they not trying to hurt each other. You know what I'm saying? They genuinely not trying to hurt each other. These is my prescription lenses for my Apple Vision Pros. They not trying to hurt each other. I've seen family members, family fights, where women absolutely try to kill each other. Like, they will stomp each other in the head. They will absolutely try to destroy each other. And I don't know what that is. When women talk about each other, when they talk about their best friend, see, the best friend don't know what the girl that's talking about her is saying. So the best friend is largely unaware that she's no longer a best friend, but she's pretending to be a best friend, or the person that's talking about her is pretending like she's a best friend. And so she's talking negatively about him. Best friend don't know. Best friend think that they still best friending. Y'all will sleep with each other's husbands, and it's like a spirit, a genuine spirit that's just on these chicks. That's just like, what the heck is going on? Why is that a thing? Why is it so much vitriol and hate? And it's really, really pronounced towards men. It's really pronounced towards men. Women can get the most vicious that you've ever seen them get when they see a man that they don't like or that pisses them off or takes them to a whole nother space in their life to where they start to become absolutely angry at whatever it is that's happening in there. And I'm like, I don't know what that is. I genuinely don't know what that is. I don't know why y'all that way, but every single thing that I'm starting to see on social media is all like anger, meanness, evil. Let me tear you down. Let me break you down. Let me absolutely destroy everything about you. I'm going to talk about your mama. I'm going to figure out what that thing is that makes you the most insecure, and I'm going to absolutely destroy you as a result of it. I don't know what that is. Can somebody in the chat help me to understand what that is? Why is that a thing? Why are women so mean? I mean, mean-spirited. What is that? Why are women so mean-spirited? Huh? Can somebody help me to understand it? I got to make sure that my prescription goggles work. What up, streets? What up, our streets? What's up, baby? How you doing, love? Says, then we are the mean ones and weirdos because we meet them with the same energy. That's a fact, though. That's a fact, though. Miserable. I don't even understand what women are so angry about. Perhaps disconnected from their purpose. He's right. This is why I stay to myself. Women, y'all don't even like women friends. Look at that. Y'all don't even want to be friends with each other. I don't blame guys from walking away. Then you want to ask, well, why y'all going to get y'all passports? Why all of these guys feel like they got to go get their passports? Y'all talk with y'all head on a chicken string. I don't get it, man. Seriously, I genuinely do not get it. I do not understand it. I don't know why y'all are so mean towards each other. But man, it is the weirdest thing ever. I don't know what y'all thinking out here in these streets. Just got to make sure that my prescription lenses is working right before we really get started with the show. I'm going to be doing my new show in the metaverse. Don't worry about it. Hey, y'all looking good out there in these streets. Hold on, make sure I'm right. This is what I work in all the time. I'm looking at y'all. Y'all looking good. Pair of new optical inserts. Pair them, baby. I like that. You got to pair your optical inserts with your Apple goggles. Y'all looking good out there. Look at your hands to set up. Okay, I see it. Hand setup complete. Adjusting lighting. Who texted me? Look at the dot. Tap it with your fingers to select it. I'm doing it. I shouldn't be setting this up while I'm on a live stream, but I want my optical inserts to work correctly. Do I look weird? Don't worry, Tiffany. I'm going to get to you. Select two dots again. Don't worry. I'm almost done setting up. Hey, we looking good out here in these streets. All right. Y'all ready to get into the show? Are y'all ready to get into the show? Listen, let me tell you something. I got a monitor over here. I shouldn't be setting this up right now. I got a monitor over there. I got a monitor over here. Everything is looking good out here in these streets. All right, so let me take this off. Let's get started with the show. Ladies, don't be so mean. Don't be so cruel. Don't be so mean. Let's get it popping. All right, first things first, let's go ahead and get into Quick Hits, ladies and gentlemen. Quick Hits is a segment of the show that we don't necessarily need or feel as though we have to dedicate a whole segment to, but we want to keep y'all informed of what's happening out here in these streets. You know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and get started with Quick Hits. McDonald's, they are experiencing a lot of backlash with regard to their food prices. Take a look.
A few dollars could purchase a quick meal at a fast food restaurant.
I think people should be able to eat good food without spending much money.
But these days, grabbing a burger and fries takes a much bigger bite out of your wallet.
Why are we not talking about these fast food restaurants going up too?
Almost $9 for a Big Mac.
Once home to the dollar menu, prices at the Golden Arches leaving a bad taste in the mouth of consumers who just want value. Going viral, the Big Mac meal priced at $18 at a Connecticut rest stop, and an Egg McMuffin selling for more than $7. Fast food companies are listening. McDonald's CEO says he's focusing on affordability this year.
2 McChicken and a medium Sprite for only $3.
Telling analysts that customers making $45,000 a year and less are ditching their Mickey D's and buying groceries instead. You can see why. The price of food at home rose just 1.3% over the past year, but food away from home jumped more than 5%.
They're here. McDonald's best burgers ever.
Brands like McDonald's rolling out upgrades to its famous burgers and hoping its new Cosmix franchise will help bring customers back.
I think one way consumers can kind of really find themselves going back in the door of some of these QSR fast food restaurants is finding out what brought them there to begin with. McDonald's did this last year. They started to bring nostalgia back.
Taco Bell was like the one place where you could actually stretch that money.
And Taco Bell expanding its value menu to 10 items under $3. The company remains dedicated to offering our fans delicious food at affordable prices.
Do you guys know why prices are exploding amongst McDonald's? And it's not just McDonald's. It's really everything. It's not just restaurants. It's not just McDonald's. But let's just talk about the fast food industry in general. Do you guys know why these prices are exploding in the first place? Well, one of the reasons why it's exploding is because you guys wanted wage hikes. And they have to continue to pass that price over into the consumer. And so when you advocate for these things, what you thought that the prices were going to stay the same? You thought that they wasn't going to pass that price over to the consumer? Do you think that people are going to not go to McDonald's? People are not going to go back to home and start to cook anymore. Let me tell you something. It's very, very, very difficult to create a new habit. Incredibly hard for people to consistent. They might do it in revolt at first, but in a general sense, most people are going to continue to do what they was already doing. They're not going to switch up. They're not going to change. They're not going to start cooking at home. They're going to just adjust, and they're going to add that price into the price of whatever it takes for them to continue to exist within a society. But the reality is that you still going to go get your Egg McMuffin in the morning. You still going to go get your Big Mac. You still going to get your large Coke with fries. You're no longer going to be a dollar millionaire, but you still going to have to deal with it. But when you start to pass that cost over, the cost of living in general becomes more expensive. Inflation or local inflation for you in your life specifically, it explodes. When you have to pay people more, when you have to spend more on training, when you have to spend more to protect your business, when you got to spend more to insure your business, when you got to spend more on payroll taxes, when you got to spend more on this and that and improving the facility and security guards and whatever, this, that, whatever, so on and so forth. Eventually that hits you. And so then they have to spend more money on making sure that they do research and development so that they can try to figure out how to remove the employees and then keep the costs relatively flat by not having as many people to pay. And that takes innovation to do, right? So when you think about it, regardless of what you do, even when you go to the grocery store, it's still high. It's still high. Everything at the grocery store is high. I see people complaining all the time. Oh my God, I went to the grocery store and I only got 7 items and my bill is $80. It's still high. It's still high as far as how it is that you live your life. So that's McDonald's. Also happening over here in Quick Hits, NYCHA employees are arrested for bribery over in New York. Take a look at this, y'all.
Dozens of city employees arrested in a massive bribery investigation. NYCHA workers accused of taking millions of dollars from contractors in exchange for awarding projects. Good evening, I'm Dick Brennan.
And I'm Dana Tyler. The bribery case involves 70 current and former NYCHA employees.
Look at that boy right there. What happened to that boy? What happened to that boy? Look at that boy right there. Got the typical braids, got the hair, got the handcuffs, the metal bracelets, probably got a Nike sweatshirt on. Yeah, you fit the description. All he needed some black Air Forces. If I could see what his shoes was, he would fit the description of exactly the type of person that would take a bribe in order to get a contract popping.
But 4 of them are being held on $50,000 bond tonight.
Prosecutors say it's the largest single-day bribery takedown in the history of the Justice Department. CBS 2's Jennifer Bisram joins us live from the courthouse with more. Jen.
Hi, Dick and Dana. 70 NYCHA employees, both former and current, were arrested and charged with extortion and bribery today. Officials say that they collected over $2 million in bribery money. Now, 66 of the 70 were arraigned here at federal court today, and each of them were released on a $50,000 bond, but had to hand over their passports.
That's classic pay to play. And this culture of corruption at NYCHA ends today.
It was a 70-person takedown by the feds. Officials say all NYCHA superintendents and assistant superintendents.
The 70 defendants charged today allegedly used their jobs at NYCHA to line their own pockets.
66 of the 70 were arrested Tuesday morning in several cities, including New York City, New Jersey, Connecticut, and North Carolina, for allegedly accepting cash payments from contractors in exchange for awarding NYCHA contracts.
Now, some people I see in the chat is asking, well, what is NYCHA? NYCHA is the New York City Housing Authority. Yeah. Shout out to the K Godfather 21. You got it. It's the New York City Housing Authority. And so basically it's where you go to get government contracts, or when government contractors go in order to do the thing that's supposed to be for the residents, right? And so taxpayer dollars are often allocated, and then they want to award specific contracts, but then guess what? It's all pay to play. Let me tell you something. Whenever you start to introduce money into things, you start to see what people's true character is. When you see money going into it, hey, I want to get this government contract. It's the reason why we're holding Fani Willis accountable with regard to Nathan Wade, because when you start to introduce taxpayer dollars or money into something in general, you start to see the true nature of people come out. And so when you have these public positions, or when you have authority to allocate resources, contractors, who you hiring, when you start to get in a position to hire people or determine their salaries, you become a lot more responsible for the well-being, and you have to be responsible with that power, because with great power comes great responsibility. And so when these people are in these positions, they are leveraging these positions in order to get free stuff, payments on the side, tickets, vacations, all of that. And it's outside of what is ethical with regard to how it is that they're allocating taxpayer dollars and using it to make sure that the people are taken care of. They're using it in order to get rich. That's why I'm going to become a politician when I decide to go ahead and retire from being a content creator. Yeah, that's the play. Become a politician. Take the Nancy Pelosi rule book and then apply it to your life. Anyways, in addition to that, we'll dig into that another day. In addition to that, New York City continuing to do the worst thing for y'all as far as the New York Public Housing Department or Authority or whatever it is that you want to call it. Chicago. Listen. I've given Chicago a break this week, but it's some stories I just cannot ignore. There are some things in Chicago I cannot ignore, honestly. And I want y'all to actually be on my team on this one because I've given y'all a real break this week. I haven't said anything about Chicago, but it's some things I just cannot ignore. For real. Seriously, this is bad, y'all. Got to check it out. Take a look.
Ravi, this is the stretch of Lawrence Avenue where that young mother was attacked 2 separate times on her way to work just a little more than a week ago. Now, after speaking with them this afternoon and seeing the video, her family realizes how close she came to perhaps dying in that attack.
Adriana points to the spots where she says 3 men held handguns against her, screaming at her to hand over anything she had. Speaking to us late this afternoon, the family asked us to conceal their faces for their own safety.
The 3 of them had the gun and they pointed at her head, her neck.
This is Adriana walking west on Lawrence Avenue, headed to work last Monday morning in the middle of the night. A few strides in, a dark sedan screeches along the sidewalk and 4 people bail out, surround her, shove, manhandle and strip the 35-year-old woman of her cell phone, her wallet, and a few other things. The 4-on-1 attack plays out for 2 solid minutes. Until today, Adriana, her husband, and 12-year-old daughter had no idea this video of the entire attack existed. They watched it with tears streaming down their faces.
She's really brave, that's for sure. She says she feels brave because of us, me and my daughter. Otherwise, she would have made it.
After the attackers speed off, Adriana ran into the street waving and screaming desperately. A city bus and 2 passing cars never so much as pause. That's when the 4 attackers return for a replay.
They told her that that they were gonna shoot her if she didn't give her the credit card pin. The next time they came, she thought that they were gonna kill her for the same reason.
Adriana says she survived with the strength of her singular focus, her family.
Listen. Let's put this in perspective. You're walking to work or walking home, okay? You're walking to work and you're walking home. Black sedan pull up on you. Everybody got a pistol with switches on it. And they basically shaking you down and they taking everything you got. They drive off. This is Chicago, right in the city of Chicago, where they're having large gatherings. Remember that? They drive off. Now, remember, all of these different carjackings and stuff, nobody is ever getting arrested. Everybody keeps saying that, everything is good and all of that, but nobody's actually getting arrested, okay? They drive off. You wave for help. The bus ain't stopping. Cars ain't stopping. Ain't nobody stopping to help you. They know not to stop, especially for the people that's in the middle of the street. Don't matter who you are, if you're a woman, man, kid, nobody is stopping, okay? Remember just a month ago, it was a baby walking around and somebody had to call the police in order to pick the baby up. This is the times we live in. The criminals drive away. Then they come back. And then they go out and they pull their pistols out again and they say, listen, what's the PIN number to your debit cards, your credit cards, and everything? We need everything. We want the PIN number. We forgot to get the PIN number from you because we were so busy shaking you down. They come back to get your PIN number because they know ain't nobody stopping for you wherever it is that they shook you down at, and all you was doing was walking down the street to try to get to wherever it is that you was going. I need somebody from Chicago to sit here and tell me that I'm crazy for bringing y'all to the front of the congregation because of what it is that we see happening in these streets. Look, we know that crime happens everywhere. That's not even a debate. Crime happens everywhere. But this is crazy. Somebody said, but why the bus didn't stop? What you think that they ain't trying to get home today? People the same way that you are? Being a bus driver is just as dangerous, if not more, than being a police officer in Chicago at this point. You can't even be a Uber or Lyft driver or a DoorDasher without getting shook down. This is crazy. Cat Eye says, this sounds a little sus to me. What sounds sus to you? I don't understand. The fact that they have it on camera that she's walking home and getting robbed, and then they come back and they show the bus continue to drive by her when she's waving her hands in the air. They have it all on surveillance camera. What is so sus about it? I don't understand. You don't believe it. You don't believe it because it was black people, and you know your black people wouldn't do that to nobody else? Shh. Y'all don't believe it. You're not going to believe it till it's you, and then ain't nobody going to stop for you. I got you. I got you. Don't worry about it. That's your quick hits, ladies and gentlemen. Let me read some of these super chats, and then we're going to get started with the show for real, for real. First of all, I want to give a shout out to my dog, Charles Pride. Thank you for the 4-ball on Cash App. I also want to give an acknowledgement to my people. Lashad Tooks said, thank you for the diamonds that you're dropping. Got to make sure I acknowledge you. Daryl Pullins, shout out to you for supporting Big Dog with the 20 ball. Thank you, my friend. Mike That Dude. You know Mike That Dude always going to come through. Shout out to Mike That Dude. I appreciate you. Let me acknowledge some of these super chats up here, and then we're going to get started with the show because we're going to start off with Tiffany Henyard. Big One of Dub says, top of the top to you, Big Dog. I appreciate you. David Williams says, Anton, Drake dropped that leak because he just started his Big As the What tour with J. Cole. You going? I see y'all got jokes today, huh? Okay, we gonna go there. Apex Life says, just showing support to not be dusty. So much love, fam. Thank you, my dog. Oh, let me give you this one. Shout out to Apex Life and thank you for the 20 ball, friend. I absolutely appreciate you. Joe Gun 84 says, Anton, what is a woman? And do you identify as a tiger? Oh, you seen that video I dropped last night? Yeah. Shout out to Miss Crow T. Shetty in the building, just dropping that off with the super sticker. I appreciate you. Dalton Trustees is I got a show lined up for y'all today, Dalton. Yeah. Shout out to the trustees in the building. Said he here. They here. Y'all ready for a show? Don't worry about it. We're going to make sure that we put on a show for y'all today. Shout out to the trustees. More Than Mellow is in the building, says, desperate, needing a coaching call, AD. I can't keep living like this. I need to get better because I can do better, and I'm tired of being a failure. Did you send an email? Because we've been lining people up. Oh, we've been lining people up for the coaching calls. If you ain't sent an email, then you're missing out. Anton Daniels, 413@gmail.com. Shout out to Kevin H. I appreciate you, big dog. Spaces is in the building, says, yes, you look weird with your goggles on. You look like RoboCop. You put on those goggles, and all of a sudden, you know sign language. It's gonna be normal in a minute. Watch. ABJ's wise, safe, and strong says this chick wasn't even black, but she went on TikTok and literally said, if another man says that they appreciate me for my mind, I'm gonna scream. I'm not here to help you. I wonder where men went. Interesting. Appreciate you. Kevin H is in the building, says, how's the Mac multi-screen feature for the Vision Pro? It's the best feature on it. When you connect your Mac over into the Vision Pro, it is the best. It is better than having a huge monitor. Seriously. It's like having multiple different workspaces. You got your music here. You got your movies here. You got multiple different browsers. You got different work screens. You got your editing bay. And it's like in HD. And you like working on a huge screen. It's like working at the movie theater. Except for everything is like OLED display. It's beautiful. It's one of the most beautiful. Man, I can't get enough of this thing. Self-Made Forever is in the building. Says, AD, when you said, do you guys know why prices are going up? We, the chat, said is because the end of the world. AD, for real, though. Watching the Forever Purge movie ASAP. Predictive programming. Enjoy it while we're here, baby. Shout out to Mondo Za in the building. I appreciate you, Mondo. I appreciate you. Anthony Bohm is in the building, says, last week a guy was robbed on a bus for a moose knuckle coat here in D.C. Gosh. Then y'all wonder why people that got money don't wear their money. Lil Black Duck 2001 says, pro tip, if someone steals your ATM card, give them the pin in reverse. The thieves will get all the cash, but the ATM will alert the cops, chaser for oh, I didn't know that. Wow, I didn't know that. That's new to me. You just gave us some game, big dog. All right. Give them your pin in reverse. But you might be so disoriented that you just hurry up and giving them the pin. You know what I'm saying? You don't even think about it. 9:35. Yeah, man, it's going to be hard. Mary Creech says NYC gives illegal migrants voting rights. I seen that. We're going to cover it tomorrow. I got you. Jawan Hart says places like Chicago has a very F you got mine mentality, unfortunately. They robbing from their own people, though. Shout out to Mr. Lott in the building. I appreciate you. Mr. Lott says, look at all the relationships from a business perspective, then compare the vibes with or without money. Bitcoin Brown is in the building. Shout out to Bitcoin. Says, appreciate your consistency, boss, no matter what's going on. You stay cooking and provide us with daily value. Bag Chasers is the best group to be. If y'all not a part of the Patreon, are y'all part of the Bag Chasers and the Patreon? Y'all getting coaching calls and y'all not even a part of the Bag Chasers? We're going to have to talk about that a little later in the show. Shout out to Kev Cunningham. Thank you for keeping your foot on the neck of the foolery. I guarantee you, I am not going to stop. I guarantee you, I will not stop. Thank you, Kevin Cunningham. Thank you to the chat. Thank you to everybody that subscribed to the platform. Thank you to everybody that's about to get this good show. Thank you to all of my bag chasers. Thank you to the Patreon members. Y'all ready to get started with the show. Hercules. Hey, Love C, when you getting up out of Chicago, baby? I think I'm going to be in Chicago next week, too. Shh. Don't tell them. Don't tell them over in Dalton that I might be stopping over in Chicago. I ain't telling you when I'm coming. That's what she said. Woo! I ain't telling you when I'm coming. That's what she said. Shout out to all of the daycares and the churches that's in the building. Let's get into the thick of things. Thank you forever. Forever, you so beautiful. Azriel, you so gorgeous. Shout out to A. Dunn. Y'all ready to get into the show? Now listen. The theme of this show, ladies and gentlemen, let me take a sip of water. We might be pulling a 3-hour out here. Shout out to LS. What up, LS? I don't know how long this show is going to be today. I'm going to try to do 2. We might go to 2.5, possibly 3. We're not going over 3. So if y'all at work, buckle up. We got a lot to go over today, and we got to make sure that we get to the bag on top of that. But we talking about leadership today. Now, what is leadership? What is leadership? Let's look at the definition of leadership really quickly. I want to read it. I don't know what the definition is. I know what my definition is, but you know, that's context. Leadership. The definition of leadership. Leadership is the ability of an individual or a group of people to influence and guide followers or members of an organization, society, or team. Let me read that fast for you guys that's not able to put it together and you got ADHD, or they told y'all that y'all had ADHD. All you needed was a good old whooping when you was in school, but you leaned into it. Leadership is the ability of an individual or group of people to influence and guide followers or members of an organization, society, or team. Leadership often is attributed to or tied to a person's title, seniority, or ranking in a hierarchy. Title, seniority, or ranking in a hierarchy. That's the definition of leadership. Now, I want y'all to keep that in mind as we go throughout this show, because this whole show is based off of making sure that we hold our leadership accountable for being great leaders. No? Let's start with Tiffany, right? So Tiffany is a special case. That's a special one, right? And I think that this largely comes from a failure amongst society, culture, and the very ones that elected her, right? Because just as much as we hold her accountable, we got to hold ourselves accountable, unless she was just that great of a chameleon. But the more that we discover, the more that we dig, the more that we start to go into who she is and why she operates the way that she operates. You know what I see? Arrogance, vitriol, fierce, defiant, rebellious, lies, blasphemy. Anton, why would you say blasphemy? Because you know what the first person, or you know what the first thing that people do when they start to get held accountable and they not right, but they don't want to take accountability for what it is that they do? They say that God told them to do it. God is trying to tell you something. God ain't speaking to you. So you telling me he skipped over me and then he was talking to you and I actually got a relationship with him. Because when I was talking to God, he was telling me, man, I ain't talking to her. I don't know her. Depart from me. I never knew you. See, we all think that God loves everybody. But do you know that salvation is conditional, similar to how it is that you treat your man at home? It is. Salvation and God's grace and mercy is upon all of us, but we have to choose it in order to really get the benefits from it. So it's an if-then statement. If you do my will, if you suffer with me, then you will reign with me. I call you my friends. He said that I want you to be saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost, which means that to be set aside without spot, wrinkle, or blemish. And so if we're going to be set aside without spot, wrinkle, or blemish, that means that we can go through your background, or we can go through whatever your leadership capabilities and qualities and how you've applied it to your life, or to whatever it is that you're leading in your congregation that you're taking over through the mountaintop. And if you go through and you part the Red Sea, will the Red Sea swallow you up, or will you get through it? That means it's going to be without spot, wrinkle, or blemish. I don't know. Well, let's evaluate it, because no sooner than I started having this conversation with you, the news went through and they documented what was going on out in these streets. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. We here.
WGN Investigates has an update on dysfunction in Dalton, where local leaders are fighting over transparency, spending, and safety. Now the South Suburbs' controversial mayor is firing back, and it all played out at a public meeting last night.
Y'all forget I am the leader. They want to hear from the mayor. If y'all ain't learned that yet, the mayor, not the trustees that don't do nothing, that only run their mouth. Y'all don't do no work.
Tiffany Henyard considers herself something of a crusader, but one who's clearly annoyed by questions from a rebellious group of Dalton trustees who are in a standoff with her over spending.
At the end of the day, vendors are not being paid. Board approved it. The vendors are not being paid.
How about you be a good leader, bring RFPs to the forefront, so not just us, but the residents and everybody else in America know how the money is being spent.
WGN Investigates has cataloged tens of thousands of taxpayer dollars spent on trips, meals, and more by Tiffany Henyard and her allies in Dalton and on the Thornton Township Board, where she's the supervisor. Township credit card records show Henyard and other officials spent more than $67,000 on trips to Portland, Austin, Atlanta, and New York City. Many of the flights were first class. So were the accommodations. In Atlanta, Henyard and her team stayed at the Four Seasons Hotel, costing taxpayers more than $9,000. In New York, the bill came to $13,000. Henyard has refused to explain the specific purpose of the trips or why they travel in such style, but she appeared to refer to our reporting at Monday's Dalton meeting.
But everything we do for the people. But we under attack. We getting scrutinized in the media. For what? Loving on the people? Showing them that they matter to us? We going through the fires for y'all.
Henyard calls her critics grandstanders who should get in line.
Y'all should be ashamed of yourself. Y'all black. Y'all are black. And y'all sitting up here beating and attacking on a black woman that's in power.
Let me stop this here. Listen, God ain't done with me yet. He working on me. I'm still a work in progress. I'm under construction. And so I'm trying to let this thing play out so that we can get the full context of what the news is reporting before we really, really deep dive into this, right? I'm trying to play this out. But God, Lord, have mercy. be a fence, give me patience. Not playing a black card. Now, where have we seen this hate play out before? I don't know. Everywhere. Fannie Willis just did it on the pulpit of the church. How come when you start getting held accountable for your spending? Because nobody is sitting there criticizing who you sleeping with, how you sleeping with them, and all of this. The only thing that we saying is, listen, are you properly spending the people's money, or are you using this as an opportunity to really be a city girl? State to state. Instead of them flying you out, you letting the residents fly you out. Atlanta, New York, Las Vegas, Austin. And what does the people have to show for this $67,000 tab? You spend more than your salary. Well, your mayor's salary anyways. I don't understand why everybody pulls the black card or the woman card when they start to get under duress.
Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves.
Dalton's difficulties got worse in recent weeks with water main breaks. Henyard blames on trustee budget cuts. Then 4 people were shot and injured last week, leaving nerves frayed, and Henyard's opponents pointing out her sizable security detail.
It's unfortunate that politics are being played, but what has happened is $1 million out of my budget has been cut because of politics.
We're not saying the police is not doing a good job. What we're saying is you're assigning all of them to be with you when they should be out here protecting the residents so we can all feel safe.
Residents are taking notice. Some spoke for and others against the mayor.
But, you know, we got the mayor here, I mean, meeting with the president of the United States. Everyone's seen the picture. I mean, that's a big deal. That
ninjas. This is the Millionaire Morning Show, so we're going to keep it Pete. Ninjas. All they got to do is show y'all a selfie. All they got to do is show y'all optics. Don't matter how much they steal from you. Don't matter the fact that you never got anything from any business that's investing in wherever it is that you're talking about. All they got to do is do a selfie or a photo. And all of a sudden, you impressed. Jesus Christ.
That is great promotion for this city, for this town.
Ladies and gentlemen, be civil. Do things right. Think of the residents. You are here to represent the...
I think I'm about to buy a house in Dalton. How about that, y'all? That way I could be an official resident. I think I'm about to buy a house in Dalton.
The residents are not yourself.
Henyard and her publicity team no longer respond to our emails seeking an explanation of her spending. As we've reported, she is also the face of a cancer charity that bears her name, one that has failed to file required financial disclosures. The Illinois Attorney General has given the foundation until the middle of this month to show how it spends its money.
But why rely on the news? Why sit there and rely on the news for whatever it is that's going on with Ms. Henyard? I had an opportunity to skim through in the limited amount of time that I had to dedicate to over in Dalton and Thornton Township. I had a little bit of opportunity to go and pull it up for myself. I said, hey, Anton, why are you sitting there and listening to what they talking about? They had a whole meeting yesterday. Yeah. Or was that yesterday? Was that Tuesday? They had a whole meeting yesterday, I believe. And this was the meeting. So she sat there and she touted, and I'm going to just give y'all the cliff notes of what happened out here for this live stream meeting or whatever, right? And we have the opportunity to be able to go through it. But she sat here and she said how awesome she was, right? But let me see if I can get to some of her talking points. We're going to skip around a little bit, ladies and gentlemen, because I want y'all to see what actually happens in some of these meetings over here in Dalton.
Want to leave, but I told them they had to make your own backyard. So come on out, because we got other stuff we're gonna do. If for those that don't know, if you're interested in that on gives and key to our future, that's why I thank you for bringing your daughter today. Because
here, let me move over into the good parts. I think it was around a 2-hour mark. Yeah, it looks like about it.
$26.57. Page 6, Ruby Soul Food, $674. Page 6, Sophia Tamales and Corn, $2,400. Page 6, The Tasty Crab, $458.79. My superseding motion is to approve the bills as read, removing the items listed.
all right, So now that you made your
But let me back that up a little bit.
And I'm saying that I understand from each one. I understand that everybody up there had to say what they were told to say. Let's be honest.
You do.
But I'm going to say this. No, the police department works hard. The fire department works hard. Public Works works hard. That's why I don't take any offense at what's being said, because I know where it's coming from. But if we're going to just talk about this in real terms, the items taken out of the departments was the overtime. And that's because the overtime is being spent in ways that it shouldn't. But if we want to talk about more officers, gladly, we put that in there. And I've just listed several, and I have more items that have been approved by the board. People still haven't received the checks. Brother Moore, you prayed us in on unity. You prayed us in, and it came with the most divisive speech I heard in my life. Don't pray for me no more.
Hey, you know it's bad out here in these streets when they say, listen, I don't even want you. I don't want your prayers. I don't want your prayers. I'm not interested in what it is that you praying. Listen, you came in here with ugliness and divisiveness. I'm not interested in your prayers no more, brother.
If we're going to do this and we're going to be honest about it, let's be honest and be direct.
Shout out
but
to
if
Jason
we don't
House.
sit here and keep doing this, because I really wasn't going to make no speech. I was going to sit here, but it's just coming. I have a superseding motion to amend the bills as read, removing. And again, I said this the last meeting. This is set up for a fight. It's set up. I'm going to read the same things that I read last meeting because it was given to us again this meeting to approve, to take off the list. This is nothing new. This is the same stuff last time. But when the mayor doesn't get away, she puts it down there and keeps trying to shove it down your throat until you have to approve it. Amended motion, please remove the following items. On page 2, Aurelio's Pizza, $131.63. Page 2, Best Western Plus, $300.18. Page 2, Chicago Midway Airport, $200. Page 3, Cooper's Hawk. Can't go without Cooper's Hawk. $550.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Is this what y'all doing over there in Dalton? Is what I'm about to do? I have to go and file a Freedom of Information Act in order to be able to source out all of the things that I need to source out so we can really do some digging? Because listen, we gonna get there. We just gonna slow roll what we got going on over here. Have y'all ever been to Cooper's Hawk? It's a phenomenal restaurant. I go to Cooper's Hawk when I go down to Tampa. It's a very awesome place. Cooper's Hawk is an awesome place to go and visit. If y'all never had it before, you want to take your chick on her anniversary date or dinner, go ahead and hit Cooper's Hawk, y'all.
$7.68. Page 3, Dollar Tree, $145.32. Page 3, Food for Less, $107.99. Page 4, Ivory Jerk Hut, $1,356.22. Page 4, Italian Fiesta, $113.59. Page 4, JJ Fish and Chicken, $68. Page 5, Johnny T's Bistro and Blues. Didn't know we had one of those in Illinois. $90.30. Page 5, Kirk's Barbecue, $676. Page
Look at the
5,
girl in the back.
Potbelly Sandwich, $126.57. Page 6, Ruby Soul Food, $674. Page 6, Sophia Tamales and Corn, $2,400. Page 6, The Tasty Crab, $458.79. My superseding motion is to approve the bills as read, removing the items listed.
Why are they spending $2,000 at a restaurant?
All right. So now that you made your motion, now we're going to let people respond. You guys need to pause when it comes to order in here. You have to give respect. You guys want respect, y'all have to give it. I am your leader. I am the one that won by 82%. I am the one that carry you, trustee Jason House, you, Kiana Belcher, that never wins anything, over the hump. That's why you guys have your seats that you have before you. So when you get in these board meetings and you act a fool, y'all should stop. Because at the end of the day, all we've been doing, everybody, is fighting since I.
Two snaps on the 2-time. She said 2 snaps. She said, I've been carrying y'all. I'm the queen. I'm your leader. Mr. House, who just sat here and tried to hold me accountable for my spending. Don't you know that I carried you over this hump in the first place? Don't you know I made you? I made you. I won this thing by 82%. The people voted me as queen by 82%. I am your leader. That is the word for word what she just led what this is. She said, I take me to your leader. Take me to your leader. Take me to your leader. She said, listen, I'm Queen B. I run this here. You just live here. I run this here. You just live here. I'm putting cases on all you fools. Shoe program, nigga. 23-hour lockdown. Shoe program. 23-hour lockdown. I'm putting cases on all you fools. Y'all want to do this to me? King Kong ain't got nothing on me.
Became mayor in the village of Dalton. I never thought in a million years that my team, the team that I ran with, including Allison Key for the clerk, would sit here and turn on me the way y'all did right, a week, 2 weeks into taking office. That showed me that you guys would have been planning, plotting, meeting. People already been snitching on y'all this entire time. It's sad. But I sit here and I let y'all say whatever y'all want to say. But when
Is this the mob? What are we talking about snitching? Are we not public servants here, guys? Honestly, are we not people that are supposed to be doing the thing that's in the best interest of the people? We're using taxpayer dollars that they have no determination of whether or not they want to pay it or not. You are getting paid by the people. You did not create this company. You did not do anything other than stand on the backs and the shoulders of giants in order to leverage it so that you can live the lifestyle that you really want to live. What are we talking about? How about we address the overspending? How about we address the first class flights? How about we address the allocation of resources to doing the things that you're not supposed to do? How about we address this police security detail like you, the mayor of Chicago? What does this have to do with the price of tea in China?
Other people want to talk, y'all want to interrupt, get mad, not let them get their point across. Y'all need to stop. Just like I sat here and I took everything y'all said, and then I respond. Y'all got to learn to do the exact same thing, but it get too hot in the kitchen that you got to jump in and got to engage with people while they trying to get their point across. You guys can make assumptions, say whatever you want up here. You don't know the day-to-day. Y'all get to a board meeting and don't even ask questions before you get to the board meeting. But then we put on a show and try to act like people not paying bills, people owe money, people got all these issues. That's what y'all do. And y'all could have easily, I keep saying what? Call my phone. Call my phone. But nobody in here does it because y'all don't want to amend this. Y'all don't want unity. Y'all don't want to work together. Y'all don't want to do the will of the people. I got a problem with that. And how dare y'all keep telling my team that they are made to say anything. All my teams are go-getters. All of them. Nobody have to twist their arm, make them do stuff. We don't do that here. They got a mind of their own. And you guys mad because they telling y'all what it is. No one make them say things. They know how to talk. They know what the problems are. Y'all cut their departments. Right? You trying to attack the mayor. These are the day-to-day operations that they do, that they govern. But y'all sit down with them and say, hey, Stacey Carrera, what do you need for public works? Y'all get all these complaints that go out, all these notices that go out that say, hey, we got a water main break. Hey, we got this going on in town. All these issues. But you never once, if y'all want to be leaders, y'all got to act like it. Y'all know y'all not leaders. Y'all followers. Stop following each other. Because nobody can lead nobody that is in your group. Not one of y'all.
Are y'all listening to this rant right here? Are y'all literally listening to this lady berate them and tell them what they ain't and the fact that they are not leaders? She said, y'all not leaders. Y'all can't lead nobody. In the village of Dalton, y'all not leaders. Who you think you talking to? Who you think you talking to? Y'all not leaders? Wow. Did y'all know that the village of Dalton's main location for their city is located on Martin Luther King Drive. Oh, she said we don't never ask.
Village of Dalton, how can I help you?
Yeah, I'm looking to get some insight into how I can speak to or somehow get some insight into how I can talk to the mayor, Tiffany Dalton.
One moment, I'll transfer you.
Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry, Tiffany Henyard, not Dalton.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. 708.
Is this a cell phone that they sending me to? They got cell phones over there. This ain't actually a landline. Oh, don't worry. I'll be there soon.
Y'all sitting here hurting the village, hurting the town. I have a problem with that. Then we get up here and grandstand every board meeting. And Dan, don't you get up here talking about no 2 meetings when they can't get through the first meeting. Don't do that. We got to get through the first meeting. We can't get through the first meeting as it relates to paying bills or passing things. Legislative for the board. We can't get through that. Because we got to sit here and go over, okay, I'm going to take this off. I'm not going to pay this vendor. How you know what the vendor had to do? How you know why one of these people called the vendor to come and do a service for the resident? Y'all don't know. But y'all get up here and y'all cut people. Why?
All of that stuff that he named was restaurant bills. Those was party favors, bro. What is going on?
Why? Y'all don't ask no questions and you just cut. That's targeting. Y'all are targeting people. That's discrimination. Y'all are violating the Open Meeting Act 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Y'all not supposed to do that. But y'all have y'all little secret squirrel meetings and y'all exclude myself, Trustee Stan Brown, and Trustee Andrew Holmes. We don't know what y'all plan is until y'all come here. Y'all come here and y'all put on the show. But because it's folk, that's what it go. That's the problem.
Bars.
I got a problem with that. And Brittany, don't you repeat everything we just said up here. I don't got time for it today. So all I'm saying to y'all is we got to do better. We have to do better.
Who are you, Harpo? Who is this woman and who she talking to? Why is this chick so hood? I'm so hood. Why is this chick so hood? Listen, I can't believe for even a second, for even 1 second, that y'all let this hood rat. And honestly, I don't even blame her because that's what rats do. They go and sniff around the cheese. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I have to blame the village of Dalton, the residents, the 3% of y'all that actually turned out to vote. I blame you. I blame you for her being able to sit up here and say, I won by 57-11, added 2%. And she told them, she said, stop it. She said, stop it. You better not come over here and say my name. She's snatching dreams out the air. She twisting her neck. She throwing her wig up and down. Okay, talk to him then. Could y'all imagine this woman is sitting next to y'all? Now all of a sudden you power drunk, you power hungry.
Everybody ain't got to talk because everybody talking. Everybody ain't got to say a comment because everybody talking. We sit here and I said, come on, y'all. Let's just go through the corporate bills. Let's just get through it. But everybody got to grandstand on their point. And then when I say something, now everybody got to say something back. When I give everybody the flow, say whatever y'all want to say. Y'all got the flow. You don't got to respond after me. Y'all.
What the hell is the flow? You have the floor, ma'am.
I am the leader. They want to hear from the mayor. Ooh. If y'all ain't learned that yet. Ooh. The mayor, not the trustees that don't do nothing, that only run their mouth. Y'all don't do no work, work. That's my issue up here. So everybody that made a statement that said all they do is work, that's all they do is work. Anybody that know me, I am a workaholic. We work nonstop. We in this village till 11, 12 o'clock at night when y'all sleep, when y'all at the bars. Y'all, I'm sick and tired of y'all not doing y'all job. Name one ordinance that y'all did that benefited the people. One. Y'all can't name one, right? Because every ordinance y'all ever made was beneficial to you guys as trustees, to y'all attorneys, to y'all. But nothing for the people. But everything we do for the people. But we under attack. We getting scrutinized in the media. For what? Loving on the people? Showing them that they matter to us?
If this is not the biggest gaslighting opportunity that I've ever heard of in my entire life, I don't know what is. I am going to make an entire career off of Tiffany Henyard. Facts. I know you watching Tiff. That's why you ain't answer the phone. You seen me calling you when I was calling you when you was dodging the phone and you had your cell phone sitting there and they patched me through. I know your whole team, your whole administration is over there watching. And guess what? Ain't nothing you can do about it. You know why? Because I'm rich and I'm gorgeous and I'm beautiful and I'm smarter than you and I got a bigger microphone than you and I got a bigger platform than you and I'm coming for you. I am going to get my $30 million and I'm going to get a huge offer from a large network as a result of making sure that I make you my huckleberry. I'll be your huckleberry. I'm going to be your huckleberry and it ain't nothing you can do about it. I got more security than you. I got more money than you. I'm better than you. I'm cuter than you. And I'm coming to your city. You're going to be the first stop on my tour. I'm going to skip over Chicago and I'm coming to Dalton. Yes, I am. Yes, I is. And don't you try to put your police officers out there to plant nothing on me. Because I got Navy SEALs on my team. Yeah, we coming to Dalton. Where's your comers to Dalton? Yes, we are. So I'm going to see exactly how tough you is, little Louisiana.
We going through the fires for y'all. We, us, me and my administration. So don't y'all ever talk to them like that. Don't y'all ever tell them that they was told what to say. Because they don't. They got minds of themselves. And they all educated up here. All of them got degrees. Stop it. Stop with the disrespect. We going to end that right now. Stop. We elected, not them. So don't bring them in our fight because you guys got to bicker with me. When y'all want to fight, I told you, you meet me at the polls.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
All this right here, this ain't what we supposed to do. Because at the end of the day, we supposed to make sure we what? Take care of the business for the village. So
hey, when she gonna stop talking? I didn't know she was talking as much. Hey, honestly, I'm curious, guys. Who's her opponent so that we can fund their campaign? Who's running for supervisor and mayor in Dalton and Thornton Township so we can get them up out of there? We're going to see just how strong your election is. We're going to play big bank, take a little bank. Big bank, take a little bank. Yeah. Don't worry about it. We'll get there.
So the village runs smooth. So we ain't got no issues. But y'all wasteful spending. Spending money left or right. But y'all ain't telling the people that though, right? Y'all ain't telling people none of that, right?
Quiet.
It's a shame that it's a joke. It's a shame that you get up here, y'all grandstand, and ain't developing nothing. While we study trying to grow the village, make the village move forward. We need support, trustees.
Nope.
We don't need trustees that's not going to do the work of the people. That's what I'm asking you guys for. And if you don't want to call me, call Keith. You want to call Keith? Call a lawyer. But y'all not going to do that. And that's what I'm tired of. We got to sit here and do these speeches every board meeting, being here to 10, 11 o'clock at night. Ain't even got to the agenda. Because everybody want to say they look sideways stuff. And then now we got to sit here trying to remember what y'all saying and then say something back. Just to tell the residents or show them that we are doing what's right. Because y'all got false narratives out there. And y'all should be ashamed of y'allself. Y'all black. Y'all are black. And y'all sitting up here beating and attacking on a black woman.
What's the closest airport to Dalton? Honestly, I'm just genuinely curious. I just want to know, what is the closest airport to Dalton? Chicago Midway. What's next week? We can go Tuesday. Come back on Wednesday. Oh, this ain't nothing but an hour and a half. Hour and a half flight. Oh yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. No, we don't want to leave at 8:30 a.m. because we're gonna have to check into a hotel. Yeah, we can get there at 8:30. Do a live stream from over at Dalton. See what's happening. And then let's see what we got. Head back out at 5:45. No, that's gonna be a little too late. 9:45 a.m. 5:45. Okay, we can get there. All right, I got you. All right. I got a good idea of it. What we talking about?
That's empowered. Y'all should be shaming
February
yourself.
20th. Okay, Sherry, thank you.
All the stuff that y'all did to get people to come to our community, to just diss and down our community. Shame on y'all. Because when I want to attack and take any of y'all seats, I run. I run for the seat. I don't do smear campaigns. I don't do all this mess. It's nonsense. Because at the end of the day, we still got to live in this village. Oh, well, y'all don't live in the village, but we still got to live in the village. Y'all got prostitute rings. Y'all got car rings on y'all block. Stolen dogs on your block. Brittany Norwood, 2 doors from you, and you don't even know it? Come on. But you live here. Y'all stop with the nonsense. Y'all do pay to play. But yet y'all point fingers at other people. Stop. I'm sick of it. Trustee House, you've been picked up by the feds, right? The FBI got you at the U.S. Bank building, right? They came and seized your computer and everything, right? But you won't tell the people that.
Ooh.
Y'all don't tell the people nothing, but yet y'all point the finger. Don't get me started.
It's messy. Listen, Dalton is messy. This is like, yo, can we get a live TV show over in Dalton? Messiness in Dalton. Where's First 48? They got dog fighting rings. They got the FBI out here in these streets. You got Tiffany Henyard is at the top of the ring leaderboard. Somebody get the FBI on the phone. I'm going to call the FBI in a minute. This is crazy over here in Dalton. So now we snitching. She lying, Dr. Nikita? Nikita. We might have to do a special live stream on Saturday. Yep. We might do a special live stream on Saturday. Yeah. Might do a special live stream on Saturday. Y'all never seen Y'all never seen that? Might do a special live stream on Saturday. If anybody can tell me who that is in the chat, you say it right now. Might have to do a special live stream on Saturday. This is messy.
Trustee Belcher, you and your friend, you and your boss right here. Everybody want to come muscle me, and they mad because I won't go. I'm tired of it.
Sling Blade, good job,
Stop
Azriel.
with the mess. It's time out for that.
Sling Blade, that's good.
Told you want to see you run. You run for it. But don't put lies on our community. Don't put lies on my name. When all I've been doing is working. But what y'all got to say about what y'all been doing? Stop. I'm tired of it. I don't attack y'all like that. I don't even think about y'all. Because when I'm done with today, we go back to work. But yet y'all trying to sit here and figure out what I'm going to do next. Oh, okay, let me call the news. All right, let me make another post. Let me do this. It's sad. And y'all talking about people laughing at us. Yeah, they laughing at us.
No, I'm laughing at you. I'm laughing at you, Louisiana. Louisiana. Don't worry about it, Tiff. We gonna get there. We are going to get there. I heard that the next meeting is February 20th. What day of the week is that? What day of the week is February 20th? Let me pull up my calendar. February 20th. The 20th of February is a Tuesday. Perfect. So we can go ahead and get over there to Dalton on the Tuesday, and we can make sure, hey, clear my schedule for Tuesday so we can make sure that we make our way over to Dalton, Illinois. But this isn't the only thing. Let me pivot for a minute, because I know that y'all gonna say, well, Anton, you know, she's a good person. She's black. We need to be on code. It's the sister code and stuff like that. And don't worry, I'm going to get to the super chats shortly. I'll be with you shortly. But then I seen another thing that popped up on my timeline, and it said that the former police chief. Hey, Keita, can you do me a favor, baby? I know you kicking it with me. I know you in the chat. I got your information inside of my email. We all good. Hey, Keita, can you do me a favor? I would love to talk to the former police chief, possibly on Friday. I want to do a special live stream on Friday. I want to talk to the police chief because I'm curious what the heck is happening, and why is the former police chief saying and suing Tiffany Henyard in the city of Dalton right after y'all just had a whole bunch of shootings out there. I need to know. I want to get in touch with the former police chief of Dalton. If anybody, thank you, Keita. This is good to have friends in high places. I need to get in touch with the former police chief because I want to know what the hell is going on. I'm going to go up there and I'm going to go door to door. I am going to interview every single resident in Dalton because I want to know what is happening with the people.
A former South Suburban police chief is blowing the whistle on the embattled mayor of Dalton, Tiffany Henyard.
Yes, Fox 32 has investigated Henyard's use of a police security detail, taking officers off the street and costing thousands of dollars in overtime.
And now the former chief is talking about it exclusively to Fox 32's Dane Placco.
Yeah, Mayor Henyard fired her chief of police late last year without any approval from the village board. So now Robert Collins has filed a lawsuit against the village. And tonight he's talking exclusively to Fox 32 about what he saw on the inside.
The manpower was just very stressed and critical to the point of almost breaking, having to provide officers on the detail rather than have officers out patrolling the streets.
Former Dalton Police Chief Robert Collins spoke to us from Florida, where he's taken a new job. But he says he remains frustrated by what he experienced leading an undermanned, overworked police department.
He wound up already getting a new job. You know why? Because good men are hard to find. Good men are hard to find. And we know that it ain't going to take a long time for a good man to find another position because there's some people that value him. Some people that value him over on the other side. Don't worry about it.
Demanded a large personal security detail.
You know, wrong is wrong, and there's a time to hold people responsible and accountable for their actions.
Last year, Fox 32 investigated Henyard's detail, following along as Dalton police officers drove her from morning till night, off into her second job as Thornton Township supervisor in South Howland, racking up hundreds.
She got a driver? I got a driver, but I pay my driver out of my pocket. It don't come from the taxpayers. She got a driver? So she got a permanent driver and security detail. Good for a village of less than 20,000 people. Wow. So a village of less than 20,000 people, you got to walk around like the president? You ain't got but 4,000 followers on Facebook? You got, listen. You got 4,000 followers on Facebook. I could be wrong. I could be absolutely wrong. Don't check me. Check the tape. Let me go to Facebook. Let me go to the Facebook. Now, on her personal page, the Super Mayor page is 1.5K followers. And on the Tiffany Henyard official page, she got 5.4 thousand followers on her Facebook page. And of course, it's Black History Month. Okay, so what do you need all of these people that's following you around and driving you and protecting you outside of the idea that they just getting paid to chill? All of the people in Thornton Township that has an average income of less than $30,000 a year. I got more Patreon members. That's a fact though. I got more bag chasers than she got in her whole following.
Hundreds of hours
We ain't
of
gonna talk about
overtime,
YouTube.
costing taxpayers tens of thousands of dollars.
We needed those officers to be on the street fighting crime. And instead, we have several officers that are riding around protecting America.
At least 2 and as many as 4 officers at a time, he says. Collins says the security detail was warranted when it started in 2021, after a police-involved shooting sparked protests in the community.
And guess what? That's the same thing substantiated by who? Keita, former chief of staff, Keita. Keita said the same thing. She said, listen, Anton, it was warranted at a specific time. At a date and time, it was actually warranted. But now, not so much. Now, not so much. It's not warranted right now, Anton. She don't need all of that. Ain't nobody checking for her. Ain't nobody checking for her, Anton. It ain't even that type of party. It ain't even that type of party. I don't even know why she shouldn't hear gaslighting the people and going back and forth. Let me see how many bag chasers we got out here in these streets. I want to make sure that the people actually understand. Let me make sure I got as many. Let me see how many chasers we got out here in these streets. I don't want to mislead the people because I don't want to say that we got more than we got when we ain't got as many as we said that we had. How many chasers do we got over here? Total member summary. Let me see if I can pull it up. Okay, so we got 5,200 members, 5,200 chasers. She got us beat by 200 people. Listen, before the end of this month, I want to eclipse whatever it is that she got as a following on Facebook. I want that many chasers. I want that many bag chasers. However many we got, I want to eclipse that. I want to eclipse that by a mile. 100%. You're right. It should be 7K, Sabrina. There's no reason that we shouldn't have 7K chasers getting this level of game and going in the direction that you're supposed to be going in. There's no reason that we should not have 7K chasers going out here and getting to the bag. No reason. We got that by the end of... Okay, Sabrina, I believe you. I believe my ladies. I believe my ladies that send the chasers.
And at some point, the protests stopped. The
Stock Club is this week.
The things going on around the protests all eventually stopped. However, the detail continued.
But now he says it's turned into more than just security. Officers are being used as Henyard's personal valets.
Officers would be sent out to run errands, to do pickups, to do drop-offs.
Just last week, a mass shooting on Sibley Boulevard in Dalton left 4 people injured. Collins believes the bad guys
What up, Hannibal?
know there aren't enough cops
Yo,
on Dalton
hold on.
Streets.
Let me get some love to my dog, Hannibal. What up, Hannibal is hungry in the building. Let me give a round of applause for my guy, Hannibal. I love Hannibal's content. Hannibal is great. If y'all have not checked out his platform, I know he don't know that I know who he is, but make sure y'all go and check out Hannibal is Hungry. He does some phenomenal, dope content. Dope. Shout out to my girl, Keita. Hannibal does some great content. Make sure y'all go out and check out his platform. It's absolutely awesome. Shout out to you, Hannibal.
Challenges with gangs, guns, and drugs. And if those officers aren't there, the visibility isn't there. And if the visibility isn't there, then criminals have free reign.
Now, earlier today, we sent an email to both Mayor Henyard and the chief administrator here of the village of Dalton, outlining the allegations made by the former chief, asking for a response. So far, we have not received one. We'll have much more on this story tonight at 9. Live in Dalton, Dane Placco, Fox 32 Chicago.
So basically what they're telling us, right, what he is basically sharing, and I plan on getting hopefully a little bit more insight out of the former police chief. What he is basically telling us is, listen, they're cutting the budgets. They're not allocating the monies appropriately. The police can't really do their job. They are absolutely under duress. They are stressed. They are trying to figure out what's going on. We just seen a shooting of 4 people getting shot the other day, and I reported on that. And so over in the village of Dalton of less than 20,000 people, it's hell. It's hell for the police. It's hell for the residents. They ain't got no jobs. They ain't got no money. They ain't got no opportunities. And they're going to put up a freaking ice rink in the middle of nowhere like they over in Times Square in New York City. I can't believe it. I'm just amazed. I'm amazed that we're all still standing on. Don't y'all know that when you on code, that you make all of us look bad? When we just continue to support the BS and the nonsense, that we all look bad as a result of it. When you stand with corruption, when you stand with arrogance in the face of corruption, when you stand with city girls that are pretending like they are built to do this job, and they're leveraging the resources on the backs of the community. Because listen, if you want to do this on your own time, if you want to be Carisha, if you want to be out here like Meg Thee Stallion, if you want to do what you want to do when you want to do it, cool. This is America. Do what you want to do when you want to do it. However, thank you, Keita. I appreciate you. However, it's another side to that. The other side to that is, who are you hurting and who are you affecting as a result of it? Because the only people that's going to suffer is you. They turning y'all hoods into hoods. The police can't do their job. And y'all out here talking about what you doing for the people. You know what you can do for the people? You know what you can do for the people? Do things the right way. When you get a public position, when you get elected, and people need to be very, very careful about these positions that they want. You want the visibility. You want leadership. You want to go into the top of your field. You want to go and get an election job. You want to be the mayor. You want to be the governor. You want to be a city council member. You have to do things 10 times better and above board than you would normally do in real life. You have to do things 10 times better than you would normally do it in real life, because you're not even using your money anymore. You're using other people's money who has no choice but to pay it. This is money that is allocated to keep them safe. Infrastructure, schools, property taxes, right? It's the basics. Nobody is asking for everything extravagant. Nobody is asking for a skating rink. Nobody is asking for all of this stuff. They're asking for safety, education, and jobs, opportunity. That's it. They didn't even say you had to get them the job. They just want the opportunities, the safety, and the education. Nobody is asking for any more than that. This is not rocket science. It's not. Balance the budget. Don't use it for your own personal gain. When you're a clergy person, right? Let's say you are in the clergy. Let's say, for example, you're a clergyman and you're in the church. You know why people hate the church right now? It's not that the word of God is wrong. It's that the people that then represents the word of God is wrong. And so when you leverage the people's money in order to do the worst, and it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be compensated depending on the type of job that you do for whatever it is. If you're adding value into people's lives, and if they volunteer to continue to give them, then cool. But when you leverage it in order to do the things that's not in the best interest of the people, if everybody is suffering, but nobody is continuing to elevate and benefit as a result of it, right? You can't use the tithes and the offerings of the people to then benefit yourself, and you're not even giving anything into the church. You're not giving no meat, no bones, no gain. no insight, no understanding. All you doing is leaving them empty every single month, every single week, every single service. And it's the same for your leadership. When you are a member of the public, you have a greater responsibility to A, live your life like an open book, B, be an example and set the example of what you would want the people to be. And that's the thing that flies over our head 100% of the time. 100% of the time. Listen, Tiff, I know you listening to me. Hear me out, baby girl. It's not about what you say, it's what you represent. You are a placeholder. You are a representation. And just because you out here on social media don't mean that you're a reflection of what the community needs. You are supposed to be a reflection of the community. You are a beacon. You are supposed to be the light goal, the post. You are supposed to be the thing that people look to when they say, you know what? If anything happens, we can lean on them because they got our best interest at heart. At least I know for without a shadow of a doubt that person has my best interest at heart. Why? Because they are a reflection of the thing that I would love to grow up and be. So when you look in the mirror in the morning, and I'm not talking about whether or not you got your wig on straight, I'm saying that whether or not you got a clean heart and you have a conscience that does not force you to then come and bring yourself back to the front of the congregation and put yourself on your knees and ask God for forgiveness. First thing that they need to do, honestly, in my opinion, is go and get themselves on their knees and ask God for forgiveness. Facts. They need to fall to their knees and say, Lord, forgive me for finessing the people, for not being a reflection of the thing that I would want that young girl to grow up to be. All of these preachers, all of these teachers, all of these public figures, these crooked politicians that's jockeying for power, that uses this as an opportunity to make money instead of being rewarded for their service, because there's a difference. If you are not a public servant, then get the heck up out of office. Again, nobody is saying that you shouldn't be compensated, because you do deserve to have a living also. But if you are not leaving or leading with servant leadership, you said it. Corey Joseph, servant leadership. If you are not setting the example and being a reflection of what your community is supposed to be, but instead you're leapfrogging off of their backs, you Pharaoh. You Pharaoh. You're doing this for your glory. That's why your face is on the front of every calendar. That's why your face is on the rugs. That's why everybody know your birthday. That's why you're using taxpayer dollars in order to put signs up on the freeway. We see the finesse. We ain't stupid. You're doing the same thing that they've been doing in Atlanta. That's why ain't nobody in Atlanta got no job. At 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, everybody is out on the streets and everything is gridlocked because everybody is scamming at the same time. And you think that the people is there to serve you. No, you there to serve the people. And then you get yours last. Taking a trip to Vegas. Shh. And you know what the worst part about some of these people is? And we're going to go over to the next story. Because we're gonna crush on this all month long. Ain't it Black History Month? She says she's a symbol of similar to Rosa Parks and Harriet Tubman and Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. Didn't she say that on the last time that I reviewed it? This is Black History Month, right? So we're going to use her as an example. As an example. And you know the worst part about this whole situation, honest to God, on everything, is that these people actually genuinely believe that they are doing the right. Like, they've lied to themselves so much that they're starting to believe their lies. Have you ever actually talked to somebody that believe what they're saying, even though they know that it's wrong? And then they say it so much that they convince themselves that it's true? This is what that is. This is genuinely what that is. This is a lie. If I've never seen a lie before in my entire life, it is a walking contradiction. It is a lie. It is a person that's drunk on power. And they was never ready for this position in the first place. They did not have the character that go along with servant leadership. They did not know what it meant to be a public figure. They thought that this was an opportunity for them to promote themselves. And instead of them being apologetic and saying, you know what, I can do better. I will leave you alone. I'll tell you this. I'll make you a deal. This is my last deal, my final deal. You hear me, Tiff? Listen, stop cussing at the TV. I know your type. Stop talking tough. Unhick your neck. Look at what I'm saying and hear it with your heart. You got 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Stop talking to me like you know me. You don't know me. I'm coming to you out of love. I'm giving you an opportunity. And all you got to do, in the same way that Moses and Aaron went over to Pharaoh and they say, listen, let my people go. Let my people go. Listen, this is my proposition. I'll make you a deal. I'll make you a deal. You know, Aaron had to go with Moses because Aaron spoke better than Moses, and Aaron was actually the mouthpiece that God had gave to Moses in order to continue. Aaron don't get a lot of props. You know what I'm saying? Moses get all of the props because he was over there with the burning bush and, you know, Prince of Egypt. We get it. This is my proposition to you. All you have to do, if someone send me the clip from February 7th moving forward to where Tiffany Henyard says, listen, I apologize, I was wrong, and I'm going to do better. That's all I want. That's all I want. I'm not asking for much. Say, I apologize, I'm wrong, and I'm going to do better, meaning that you're taking accountability. You're looking to have changed behavior because that's the best way to apologize. And then you also, you know, taking accountability and ownership for your situation and what you've done to the people. And you're acknowledging how it is that you've impacted the people in a negative way. I apologize, and it has to be in this order. It cannot be in any other order. This is what I want from you. And I promise you, I'm going to let my people go. But if you don't, this will show just how arrogant you are, and I will be in your city. And I'm the type of dude that will be in your city every single week. I got the money, I got the resources, I got the power. I will be here. Listen. All you have to do, and I'm talking to over 2,300 people on multiple different platforms right now, and the live stream. If you say, I apologize, I was wrong, and I'm going to do better. You don't even have to add the context as to why you were wrong, who you apologizing to. We get it. Put your pride down. Right? Pride cometh before a fall. I want you to hear me with your heart. Hear me with your heart. Not with your mind, not with your arrogance. Tell the devil, rebuke you, Satan. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. Tell him you rebuke him. The chasers over here will touch and agree. We are going to touch and agree. It says where 2 or 3 are gathered in his name, there he is in the midst of thee. We will touch and agree, and we will cast out these demons and devils out of Thornton Township, and then we will pray that God prick your heart. All you got to do is say, listen, I apologize. I want you to get this. Replay it. I apologize, I was wrong, and I will do better. And we'll forgive you. Because we pray, Lord, forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever in Jesus' name. Listen, we pray that prayer, but we mean it. So when we say forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors, forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. What we're asking God to do is forgive us according to how we forgive other people. But if you don't ask for forgiveness, how can we do so? I apologize. I was wrong, and I'm going to do better. That's it. I'll call my friends. I'll say, hey, Hannibal is hungry. Give her a reprieve. Let's see how she do. Hey, O'Shea Duke Jackson, hold on. I'm going to call my friends, and we're going to see how this play out. But you have to say the words. The power of life and death is in your tongue. The power of life and death is in your tongue. Okay? Okay, boo-boo? Okay, pumpkin? That's my olive branch. See, I'm not such a bad guy. I'm not a bad guy. You know what I'm saying? I want the best for people. My black queens, she's my queen to be. She's my queen to not such a bad guy. Told you should have left me alone. Should have left me alone. Let me read some of these super chats. I'm going to read some of them, and then we're going to go over to the next thing. Y'all said have her on an altar call. Tarrying till they get the Holy Ghost as the Spirit of God give utterance, speaking in other tongues. A.R. Smitty says, God saved me so many times from self-implosion. Thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah. Shout out to the doc. The doc says, we, the black delegation, propose trading Tiffany for one Miami alien. We will accept 3 working migrants, 6 pieces of mild, $300 in EBT, and a full tank of gas. I tell you, no, we're going to give her a chance. We're going to give her a chance because we believe in grace. God is trying to tell you something. Sino Shore says, just join the Chaser. We on our way. Congratulations to the new Chasers that's out here in these streets. Pookie's friend Ray Ray says, I love Henyard's wig. Wish she was my baby mama. Yeah. A.R. Smitty says, had this been a movie, I wouldn't even believe it. That's what makes it so good, baby. Mary Creatures in the building says, how is this not embezzlement? We don't know. Iceberg Slim says, Anton, you should do a segment on the New Orleans mayor, LaToya Cantrell. She's very Cantrell. Send it to me in my email, AntonDaniels413@gmail.com. Send it to me in my email. Eric Harris says she like to eat. They eating good over there in Dalton. A lot of people get the scraps from Longshank's table. Cooper's Hawk in Tampa is fire, ain't it? It's right out there by the airport. It's popping. Executive Suite MLE says, don't pray for me no more. That's what Jason House said. Shout out to the house. Eric Harris says, the nerve of you. Mr. Lotta's in the building with the 10 ball says, think about the quick hit segment. People can barely pay for chicken nuggets. It's hard out here in these streets for a pimp when you're trying to get that money for the rent. Shout out to the chef. Chef says, peace, love, and light to you, and I'm glad Mama Rita is good. Please send my love. Send her my love. Keep grinding, my G. I'm on it. I'm on it. Shimon it. Sister. We giving her by default. By default, sister always get a clap, says, and the best actor award goes to Mr. AD. I live here. I run this here. You just live here. Shadow Dragon TV is in the building, says, she said, look at me. I'm the captain now. She said, I'm your leader. I'm your leader. Chris Moore is in the building, says, sit your $5 in here before I make change. Remember when he said that? I know all of the movies. Don't worry. Y'all not going to stomp me on no movies. TB says, up there sounding like Rack from Raising Cain. SS29 is in the building, says, Anton, just call up the Justice League on TIFF. Brandon Adams Johnson, and that Boston mayor, Gotham City X10. Shout out to the Boston mayor. That's that lady with that, I think she like an Asian lady, if I'm not mistaken. Iceberg Slim says, Tiffany Henyard embodies every negative stereotype of black women. That's a tough one. Civ Lab is in the building, says, Tiffany doing her Madea speech. Cartez Cookies in the building. The best cookies, by the way. Make sure y'all go on Google. Cartez Cookie says, she sounds like she is drunk with power, Anton. And we gotta quell that because that can turn into a demon, a whole demon. Executive Suite Emily says, she basically said, get down or lay down, just like Beanie Siegel. And when you lay down, you stay down. Tupac rant. You ninjas is mad because our staff got guns to you motherfuckers' backs. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Executive Suite MLE. I'm going to read a couple more super chats and then I'm going to reserve the rest for after this next story. Eric Harris says, nice freedom speech, but I don't believe her. You know, all we need is a couple good speeches. Yoshi504 says, Tip probably like, this ninja is calling me? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Talk to me. Chef Chopino says, imagine her responses while being questioned during a congressional hearing. Hashtag Supermayor. Hashtag Negrobonics. Hashtag is this your queen to be? Hashtag Dalton, you chose her. And y'all getting everything that y'all deserve. Rod Jones, I'm coming to y'all and everybody that sent the super chat. I absolutely positively appreciate the people that are supporting what it is that we're doing over here at the Anton Daniels channel. Shout out to the trustees of Dolton. I'm going to be reading that shortly. I love you guys. You guys are absolutely positively the best on this earth. Y'all want to continue with the show because we got to get to the migrants. We got to see what's happening in these streets, man. Did y'all know that Denver has already started evicting migrants? Denver said, listen, we not Chicago. We not New York. We tried to join in on this. We thought that Biden was going to save us, but ain't nobody coming to save us. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. If you have not joined the Patreon, the link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. We got Stock Club popping off this weekend. It's going to be popping, y'all.
Start right now at 9 with the latest on the migrant crisis as Denver nears a breaking point.
In the next few weeks, 3,800 migrants will be discharged from shelters across the Mile High. Well, tonight, we spoke with a group of migrants who are out of the shelters and now living back on the streets at this new camp that we found right next to Elitch Gardens with no hope for housing in sight. After a long journey from Venezuela, Arturo Heder arrived in Denver and was one of dozens of migrants who set up camp near Zunay and Spear. But at the start of the new year, the city cleared out the encampment and opened shelters.
Centro Cívico.
Arturo says he was at the Civic Center shelter. Several beds were set up inside. On Friday, he timed out of the shelter, so Arturo and dozens of others just like him opted for a familiar option. He says he came to this spot because he had nowhere else to go, does not have a job or a work permit. It's minutes from this camp at Zunay and Spear cleared on January 3rd. 1 month later, he was back on the streets and wonders if more will join him. Arturo explains he's received text messages from other migrants about to time out of shelters who say they too have nowhere to go.
How do they got phones? How do they got phones? I don't understand. I don't get it. I'm very, very curious how they texting each other, they kicking it with each other, they sending messages. I was talking to a guy yesterday, and he was saying that he is familiar with the Trek. You know, I've been doing some research and I've been working in the background for some very, very special shows that you guys are going to be familiar with soon. But I was talking to a guy yesterday, and he was telling me, he was detailing exactly what the Trek is. He was saying that they were specifically catching flights over into certain parts that then allowed for them to pay a certain amount of money to the cartels or whatever in order to make sure that they get over here. And then the Chinese people are actually paying more. And he told me the prices that they was paying. And I said, no way. Y'all paying this amount of money to get trekked over here? And then he went into all of the different details of whether or not if you was a girl that looked fine, you might have to give up that box. And he was telling me about the different age ranges. Yo, we had a conversation yesterday. It was crazy. And so it then caused me to then ask myself the question, if there are citizens and people that are familiar with what's going on, I'm just asking a question. I'm not making no accusations. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I have to ask this question because he was basically breaking down the monetization that came along with it, how much that the cartels was getting, who was getting flown over, what type of flights you had to take over here to get, how long the trek was, what happens to certain girls, certain guys, if you couldn't pay, what would happen? And he started breaking down all of this stuff, right? And I said, wait a minute. Wait a minute. If the government is familiar with all of this and they're letting it happen, who's profiting from it? Is this not the literal definition of trafficking? Just asking a question. Is this not the literal definition of trafficking? Is this like taking, but at a much larger, massive scale? And who's really behind this if everybody know that it's going on and we just looking at it and we saying, oh, okay, we're just going to turn a blind eye. If the most powerful people in the world is able to know what's happening, but then at the same time, there's certain infrastructure that's set up in order to allow for it to happen. Laws are being bypassed. Flights are being taken. Everybody that knows what's happening in the world. Because listen, we at the end of it, right? We on the tail end of the situation. So we looking at it because of how it's affecting us. We're saying, well, they want to displace black people and They want to make sure that they keep certain votes in, and they want to make sure that they have this happen, and then that happen, and then the population decline, and we need more workers, and we need more voters, and we need people to lean into this liberal organism and all of this other type of stuff, right? And we have all of these layers of government, and they are briefed and have insight, and they visit the border, and they know what's happening in the White House, and we go over to these different, they send their conciliaires over there to talk to people, right? And we on the back end, and we'll say, well, they're displacing us. It's because they don't want to give us reparations. And so we trying to figure out on this side, but we not really at the source of it to understand what really happens. And if they already know what's happening and they allowing for it to happen, and they basically reversing policies that allow for our borders to be open and fighting the states for what's in the best interest of the American people, we didn't really figure out that the CIA was funding wars, and we just now starting to get movies about it here and in the 2000s, 2010s, 2020s, and we don't even care about it anymore. So by the time that we figure it out, it's almost like we numb to it, so it's not even that big of a deal anymore. But we knew, or we found out, that basically the federal government was the ones that was basically fueling the drug war that they didn't profited from in order to make sure that they funded certain things, and other people got rich as a result of it. But then now, by the time that we started talking about it, it didn't matter anymore. My question is this any different? Is everything that happened because it just happened based off of circumstance, or is it by design? Is it by design? I'm not saying what happened. I'm not telling you what to think. All I'm saying is, are we really having the right conversations? And is this the platform to even have it on? Am I going too far? Am I digging too deep? Am I on the wrong websites, and am I talking to the wrong people online? And should I just be quiet so that I can make sure that I stay above board and I can keep my platform and I don't have any kind of problems whatsoever? Because see, there are a lot. Think about it, y'all. Listen, I could say every single word that I want to say about you. If I cuss you out and I call you every single nasty word, I will not in any way, shape, or form be reprimanded as a result of it. I could tell you that you are some of the worst things ever. I could hold you accountable. And you know why it won't matter? Because they know that it's not going to change. Okay, so I saved 1 or 2 people here, 3 or 4 people there. We got our chasers. We doing our thing. We continue to run it up. And they will let us to have those type of conversations. But when you start asking too many questions, then things start getting a little bit thick. Start getting a little bit thick out here in these streets. So I'm not ignorant. I'm not unfamiliar. I spend my time reading, doing research, and talking to the people that give me insight so that I can have more information and be armed with the right kind of conversation. So I'm leading you without you even knowing that I'm leading you in the right direction, and hopefully opening your mind to the possibilities. So at some point, you're going to have to participate and use your context clues, because ain't nobody saying nothing. But everybody's saying that everything is wrong, but ain't nobody actually saying what the problem is. So now we focused on abortion rights all of a sudden, right? Gender roles.
Denver Mayor Mike Johnson has warned the migrant crisis could cost the city $180 million in 2024 and told Fox 31 News yesterday the shelters were never meant to be permanent.
We literally are out of rooms. There are no more units left in the city that we can use. And so if we don't start exiting folks, we have the risk that new arrivals would also have no place to go. So it is not a new policy. It's just reactivating the policy that's always been in place.
The mayor is calling on the federal government for funding and help with securing work permits for migrants, something Arturo says is all he needs. An opportunity to make a living.
We've reached out to the city about this new camp and the potential for more as migrants are being discharged from shelters. And they said, quote, "We have been working nonstop to connect migrants with resources, which include housing. As for the encampment at Zunai and Spear, we held housing clinics for several days ahead of that encampment closure and then sent city staff and nonprofits into the congregate sites to continue the work of housing hundreds."
So now Denver is basically kicking out migrants, right? Denver is kicking out migrants. Okay, so let's pivot then. Let's pivot. Y'all ready to pivot? Can we move over into something different? We're going to stay on the same subject, but we're going to move over into something different. I know you see it. I know that you see the Millionaire Morning Show is evolving. It's evolving. Don't worry, I'm going to read the super chat shortly. It's evolving. The Millionaire Morning Show is evolving. We doing a little bit deeper of a dive, but I cannot give you the steak. I got to give some people baby food so that we can all continue to come along at the same time. We want to all be on the same page. It's baby food. I can't give you steak yet. I can't say what I really think because I ain't rich enough yet. I'm rich, but I ain't that rich yet. I need my money. We evolving over here. So let's deep dive into it because one of the things that I said earlier in this week that I wanted to dive into is who really is the group that is growing the most and exploding as far as them being intentional for how it is that they're crossing the border and that they're crossing the border illegally in the first place. Well, guess what? They're speaking Mandarin, Cantonese. They do. They speak Mandarin. They speak Cantonese. They're very, very intentional. And they're loaded. And they're funding and they're investing in their ability to be able to get over here. And they're the fastest growing people or the fastest growing group that is crossing over into these borders. Not just Asians, Chinese specifically. Well, at least this is what the news is telling us. So let's mine through it. Make sure again that y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. I'm going to be reading Super Chat shortly. I told y'all that this was going to be a little bit longer of a show today, right? I did preface this by saying that. Let's get into it.
So Chinese citizens are now the fastest growing migrant group crossing the southern border, with 24,000 apprehensions last fiscal year. And a new report says TikTok is to blame.
We wondered how all of these migrants knew about this particular entryway into California. The answer was in their hands.
How do you know about that? Oh, Douyin. Okay, TikTok.
Oh, you learned on TikTok. The post we found had step-by-step instructions for hiring smugglers and detailed directions to that hole we visited.
So what is causing the surge? Joining us now, author of Confucius Never Said and the senior federalist at...
Let's stop for a second. Let's take that in. They're leveraging TikTok. According to them in the interview, they're leveraging TikTok to figure out exactly where to go and how easily they can get into the United States of America. I don't know if y'all actually seen the videos or if y'all just listening, because some people got it on there. Look.
And detailed directions to that hole we...
They're leveraging TikTok to get detailed instructions on who to hire, who to pay, where to go, and how easy is it to get over here in the United States of America. The only thing that I keep asking myself personally, the main thing that I ask myself as I continue to be very, very careful and I plan out my life and I plan out my daughter's life, and I try to figure out where my next investment is going to be and where my next play is going to be and what would happen if anything was ever happen to me, how I set things up. The only thing I keep asking myself is, what's the next play? And I ain't even talking about myself. In order for me to make my next play, I got to figure out what's going to happen next. I got to try to anticipate it, right? When are we going to have the next event? Throughout history, it's been guaranteed to come. Whether it's the crash of the stock market, the dot-com bubble burst, the stock market crash in the 80s, recession in 2008, pandemic, 9/11, When is going to be the next event? What is going to happen? How are things going to play out? Who's going to benefit from it? Why is this so easy? Will we even remember this? Will we be able to trace back the steps and the dots? And will anybody be held accountable as a result of it? The housing market crash, the stimulus checks, the shutting down of a state. What is going to happen next? Because I just can't imagine for the life of me that this is just happening based off of happenstance. They literally monitoring every single transaction that happens on Cash App, Venmo, PayPal in order to make sure that they tax you for every dollar that you owe. Report that you made a mistake and added too much of your house and the square footage of your house in order to make sure that you got your proper write-offs for your office that's inside of your house. And you're going to get audited. They hiring 80,000 IRS agents to find out every dollar in your account. But you telling me they don't know what the hell is happening on TikTok and where the border crossings are? Am I crazy? Am I confused? How is this a thing? So the news and Anton from AntonDaniels.com and TikTok is discovering it first. We don't know nothing that's happening. We so confused why all of them is in New York and Chicago. Wow. Just so happened to be Chicago that has the most of them. In New York. Wow. Denver, Boston, Atlanta, LA.
He visited.
So what is causing the surge? Joining us now, author of Confucius Never Said and the senior Federalist and contributor Helen Raleigh and field reporter Julio Rosas. Julio, let's go to you first. When I was at the border about 5 to 6 years ago, it was very rare to see a Chinese national. And when you saw them, they were runners. They weren't trying to turn themselves in. What are you seeing now at the border?
Well, it's what we've been seeing for the past few years now, and the fact that there's no fear. The fact that we have Border Patrol essentially trying to hide from illegal immigrants, and illegal immigrants are the ones trying to find Border Patrol. That just shows how crazy things have become under this administration. And it's the fact that, yeah, exactly, it's not even Central or even South Americans anymore. It's people from all over the world and people coming from, let's face it, adversarial countries who may want to do us harm and may want to exploit us through this weak point.
Yeah, so just to put it into perspective, in fiscal year 2021, 450, 22, 2100.
Look at this
and then
craziness.
This massive jump to
Look at this craziness. This is insane. This is absolutely insane, bro.
over 24,023. Helen, I want to bring you in. Is this part of China's plan? I know when I was at Campus Reform, they had all these Confucius Institutes on college campuses. What is China's goal here?
Good morning. I don't think it's China's plan to send those immigrants here across the border illegally. But let's address the Confucius Institute briefly. That's China. The Confucius Institute are run by China's United Front Department, which is a propaganda division of the Communist Party. So the Confucius Institute are covert operations to try to influence public opinions in the West. Fortunately, many universities, over hundreds of them, has been shut down since COVID because many people are waking up to it. As for the migrants issues, unfortunately, we don't know who they are. But I think most of them, based on what I read and what I heard, most of them came to the United States. They were really driven by, first of all, the open invitation of our lawless border. Everybody else is doing it, face no consequences, so they are following those examples. And secondly, but most importantly, they were driven by China's ongoing political persecution and the deteriorating economic situation. For example, China just sentenced a banker and an Australian writer to death this week. The banker was alleged to committed corruptions. The writer was allegedly writing articles criticizing of the Chinese government while he was in Australia. So nobody feels safe in China. And then on the economic front, there's a high youth unemployment rate. The stock market is deteriorating. People saw biggest drop of their salaries last year, as well as the property market slumping. And the property market is especially hurting people's confidence because over 70% of the Chinese people have their personal wealth tied to properties. So all these factors combined are driving people to come here.
Julia, what are Border Patrol agents telling you, as well as Texas DPS? Are they concerned about the folks coming across that are Chinese nationals?
Absolutely, and it's just the fact that this really hasn't happened before, at least in these large numbers. And as I was saying before, we're not even talking about people from Asia, but we just had that recent report where an Al-Shabaab terrorist didn't even avoid Border Patrol. He turned himself in. He was processed and released and was in the country for over a year before the U.S. government realized their mistakes. So this is very concerning. I've been raising the warning for quite some time about this.
So, long story short, what they're basically telling you is that either it's intentional or we just don't care. I've been reporting on this for a long time, and I've been giving y'all every single detail of what's happened. And if all it takes in order for you to be able to get over here is to go on TikTok and get some instructions on who you're supposed to pay and how you're supposed to go about doing it, I just don't know what the future holds. I don't know what it's going to be like. You know what I'm saying? Like, I worry for our children. Like, I worry for the people that come after me. I worry for the people that the people that don't have as much, that can't move and maneuver the same way that you can, right? It's a lot. It's a lot to take in, honestly. And then your mind will start to go down this rabbit hole based off of more information. It's almost like you're blessed when you don't know. It's a blessing to kind of be ignorant in a way. But I can't make any assumptions definitively. I can't tell you it's factually that way. All I can do is ask questions, and then you guys have to make your own you got to draw your own conclusions and be informed. Make sure you tap into the Patreon, y'all. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Let's get into something a little bit more fun. But before we do so, let me read some of these super chats. Rod Jones says, AD, she was arrested some years ago, shaking my head. Facts. I'm finding out what's going on. Bree Power, what up, Bree? Says, Tiff saw that Detroit number calling in and she dodging you. They watching, man. We don't know what you thinking. Trying to figure out what's happening. J-Rock24K says, I was rolling with you until you said you the cutest. I'm gorgeous. Gorgeous A instead of gorgeous Dre. Chef Shapino says, Anton is a conceited ninja. Confident, not cocky, confident. Chef says, remember, she put in the change that decreases the pay of her successor. Yeah. Down to $25,000 by 90% if she loses an election to prevent competitors. I don't think her seat is guaranteed. I'm about to run over there. I'm about to buy me a residence and run over there. Eric Daniels says, Anton about to leverage this Tiffany Henyard mess into a Dateline special. I love it. Hey, Dateline, if y'all need a correspondent, come and holler at me. It's going to cost you $30 million though. Purple Haze says, Tiffany sound like Nino on the stand. If I'm going down, everybody's going down. It's bigger than Tiffany Henyard. Lee Turner is in the building. Shout out to my dog Lee. Lee says, Anton, get that shovel. I mean that mic out of her hand. She be going on these long rants. Sonia Rose says, hella gorgeous. The black version of my first husband, God rest his soul. Shout out to you, love. David Williams is in the building and said, didn't Jesus say keep the commandments to be saved? Evie Ray is in the building and says, imagine if she had a colleague like Eric Mays. My guy is Eric. I love Eric Mays. That's my guy. I might call him. Cody Marshall says, I see the Baltimore state attorney in a hot seat. Really? Have y'all sent that to me? Email that to me. Open eyes. Open nice. If it was a man, the feds would have been got them ghost computers and walks you out with the news cameras. Y'all don't know what the feds are sitting on. Y'all know what they working on. Paul Johnson says, happy Wednesday, family. Became a bag chaser. Shout out to the new chasers. Shout out to the new chasers. Congratulations, Paul. Make sure you tune in to Stock Club this weekend. We going up. Enforcer 2K9 says, why does doing what you want to do always amount to doing the wrong thing for yourself and or for the community? Nobody ever want to do the right thing for the right people. Brock is in the building, says, pass a love offering. Thank you. Thank you very much. Seminole 2014 says, what we got? Speaking of influences, AD, I know a sergeant who saw a TikTok about Tiff and was saying how she wants to get in the office and run things like her. I walked. With great power comes great responsibility. Shout out to the Dalton trustees in the building. We love you. We love you. Keep us informed. I'm going to continue to read Super Chat shortly. You like that, Messi? I'm gorgeous. I'm gorgeous. All right, listen, let's get into the final thing that I want to talk about today, and it's about the Turkey Hut. Have y'all heard of the Turkey Hut? The Turkey Hut consists of, if I'm not mistaken, or the face of the Turkey Hut was a black man and a black woman, but what they're basically saying is that somehow, some way, there's been some misappropriation of funds. How come when it always come to us, there's always a money issue, regardless of how successful you are, regardless of how great you are, regardless of how awesome you've been doing things, it's always going to come back to it being a money issue. Where the money reside? Where the money reside? Why is there always a money issue with us? It's gotten messy, Azriel. They divorcing? Yeah, I heard that she said that he was abusive. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. Again, make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's see what they're reporting on when it comes to the Turkey Hut.
A lot of people wondering what is going on with a popular restaurant. A lot of turmoil is being played out in public. Fox 26 business reporter Tom Ziska live in the 3rd Ward outside the Turkey Leg Hut, where a co-founder has been fired, staff laid off, and paychecks are missing. Tom.
Rashi, a lot of moving pieces here. The Turkey Leg Hut made a splash when it was founded in 2015 by husband and wife team Lynn Price and Nakia Holmes. Last year, there were headlines about the couple's separation while they continued to operate the business together until yesterday. From its home on Alameda Road, the Turkey Leg Hut lunch crowd is not the long wait that the popular restaurant can be known for. But as diners enjoy a nice day on the patio, all is not well at the restaurant. Co-founder Lynn Price posted on Instagram a now deleted copy of an email from a management consultant that gave him his walking papers from the company, reading, "Your employment with the Turkey Leg Hut is being terminated effective immediately."
So, hold on. I got a question, and I'm looking for an answer. And I need the chat's help with regard to this, all right? Can you be fired from something that you co-founded, even though you don't have any other shareholders? And I don't know the details of what they got going on, what's happening out in these streets, but I'm just asking a question. Can you be fired? Can you be fired from something that you co-founded? And can your employment be terminated immediately? Oh, man. This is crazy. Messi said yes by other founders. No, you can't just fire me. You got to buy me out because I still have ownership inside of the company. And if the only other founder is you because we founded as husband and wife, even if you got, listen, if you don't own 50%, now I could be mistaken, right? If you don't own 50%, that doesn't mean that you can be fired. You still own the company. You can't take away my shares. You can only fire me if I hold a separate position, but that does not remove my equity in the company. You see what I'm saying? So he wasn't an official, an employee, unless he was paying himself. Now, if somebody was his boss, then they can fire him from that position. But that doesn't mean that you can remove my ownership in the company. Mark Zuckerberg tried this. Yeah, but that was with a publicly owned company that then diluted his shares down to a specific amount that made his shares near worthless. That had nothing to do with his actual position in the company. You got to buy me out. You can't fire me, especially from a husband and wife team. And it just get messy. The minute that they start getting messy, they go and do a divorce. Nobody want to hold on. Nobody want to do the thing that's going to be best for the bag. And now they want to terminate his employment immediately. That's crazy. Let's continue.
It reads, the firing is just one of several personnel changes at the company, citing a financial review after the discovery of potential mismanagement. The Turkey Leg Hut owner Nakia Holmes says in a statement to Fox 26, unfortunately, we quickly uncovered financial discrepancies that demanded immediate action.
Now, here's my question, right? Because she's saying this. This is her statement. But the question is, my question becomes, okay, y'all with me? Is this a smear campaign? Is she now leveraging, you know what I'm saying? This is an opportunity in order to get back at him because they're going through a separation or a divorce. Because we got so many questions. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but all we do know is that what you got going on in your home is now affecting what you got going on with your business. Y'all never was missing paychecks. Y'all never was missing the money. Everything was good. Everything was popping. But the minute that you then made yourself a figurehead, and when you went through something, now you're leveraging that. And so is she now using this? Nakia Holmes, the owner, the girl, the wife, the former wife, the ex-wife. And I'm asking a question. I'm not assuming. I'm asking a question. Is she now leveraging this as an opportunity to get him up out of there? Interesting.
That action included 2 firings, 6 people laid off, and what she insists is a 2-week payroll delay. But an employee who does not want to show his face says he's gone more than 6 weeks without a paycheck, owed more than $1,000.
We get behind on bills like rents, light bill, water bill. It's becoming a hassle trying to.
Let me tell you something. Under no circumstance, and I mean zero circumstance, do you ever mess with people's money. I don't care what happens. I don't care how much y'all beef. Listen, we got to take care of payroll. I've always believed and I've always lived by. And this is a fact. Not one person in the world can ever say that I owe them money. I've always paid my people first before I pay myself. Sometimes I used to pay people out of my own pocket, right? Because I would have to give them their money before payroll was even happening because, you know, I was passionate about them. They was going through things. They had baby mama issues, getting kicked out of their house. So I would even, you know, be so passionate enough to give them an advance, even though I knew it was against whatever, right? But my point is that you never under any circumstance mess with people's money. What you mean you owe me for 2 weeks, 3 weeks pay? No matter what you got going on in your house, no matter what you got going on financially in your life, no matter what is happening, you never ever mess with people's money. That is rule in business. In business, no matter what happens, you pay the vendors, you pay the rent, you pay the employees, and not necessarily in that order. You pay the vendors because you got to get the food in. You pay the rent because you got to have, you don't want to get kicked out, and you pay the employees. Now, all other things, you can figure that out. You can sort that out. You might have financing problems. They probably leverage the business and all of this other type of stuff, whatever, so on and so forth. But under no circumstance do you ever not pay your people. That's the first thing you do is you start issuing them checks. 100%. You don't mess with people's money, man.
Get what's owed to you.
You should not give up on the money that's yours, regardless of the amount.
Fox 26 legal analyst Chris Tritico says affected employees have a strong argument to get their money if the employer drags its feet. From court filings to complaints to the Department of Labor, there are avenues to collect, especially with the business still in operation. It does not, however, lessen the immediate hardship for employees waiting on a promise to be paid.
My creditors aren't going to be as nice as you're asking me to be to you, and they're not going to wait.
That's crazy.
So Courtney, the employee, says it is a challenge continuing to come to work, not knowing when the next paycheck will come. Owner Nakia Holmes says she does plan to address those backlogged paychecks promptly, her word there, and hopes to invite those laid off employees back to work by later in the summer. Meantime, the drama continues here behind me. We were informed this afternoon that Lynn Price, the co-founder, was served divorce papers right behind me and escorted off the premises by a deputy.
That's crazy. This is insane. This is insane. So wait a minute. This is so messy. This is so messy. And so now they're going to tank the entire business. The margins is already, I don't know if y'all know how hard it is to run a business. I really don't know if y'all know how hard it is to run a business. But they're basically going to tank the business because they are having their own personal issues and they can't even afford to pay the employees. You can't even afford to pay the employees. That's disrespectful. It's 100% disrespectful. And it's unfortunate because usually what happens is the other people are the ones that suffer as a result of your unprofessionalism. But I hope that the employees get their money. Obviously, I think that it's bad optics. And all of this stuff playing out in the public, ultimately it hurts you, right? Because it hurts the business. And so now people are saying that they would go or they wouldn't go or they don't really care about it or the employees is getting laid off and the employees don't show up. And so the quality suffers and everybody know your business as a result of it too. It's messed up. It's absolutely messed up. So now they're going to depend on you guys going in and patronizing them in order for them to continue to make back payroll. God bless the employees. And I'll be following this. The people told me to pay attention to this, so I'll be following it, all right? Listen, y'all, we didn't quite have to go all the way to 3 hours. They got a car collection? So you saying we need to do a part 2 of this on Friday or tomorrow? Okay, all right, we're going to get there. Listen, y'all, let me read some of these super chats, and then we're going to continue over. IBR7 says Detroit players were going to Canada getting women who'd act right decades ago. That's true. That is true. We used to go over to Canada. Go over to Canada, gamble. Windsor. Hashtag birth certificate bros. Hashtag enhanced license bro. Hashtag Detroit meetups. I'll give you that. All right. I'll give you some of that. God, we used to go over to Canada all the time. Over to Windsor specifically, though. Zach says they are using an Obama phone. I know someone who says they are getting kicked off because of them. Really? Pookie's friend Ray Ray says, I just adopted 50 dogs from the shelters to help feed the... Oh, Jesus Christ. This dude is insane. Sister! Mr. AD, please Miyagi me. Please Miyagi me. Shout out to my girl sister. Well, we got to make sure that we be careful, though. You know what I'm saying? We got to protect the platform, protect the bag. Mary Creech says, you'll watch within 2 years, we're going to get the Patriot Act 2.0 because of the national security threat of all the migrants. J-Rock 24K says they listening to AD. Yeah, I know. I'm going to chill out. Let me get back to my regular. I apologize. Hey, Biden and them. Whoever it is that y'all listening to, I don't want to. I'm chilling. I promise I'm a lay off. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what crisis. What is a crisis? Crisis with a K? I don't know nothing about no crisis. Forget TikTok. We don't know nothing about it. Chris Moore says they want this to happen. I don't know nothing. I'm a deer in headlights. JP says the play is to make Texas blue. Dems win forever. I think it's more than that, big dog. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think nothing. Messy Mathematician says, quick note, I like how you say I'm gorgeous. A.R. Smitty says, as long as it ain't the turkey grill, we Gucci. Ain't it the turkey leg hut or something like that? Chris Moore says, in a divorce, the woman will try to make the man suffer. She done already served him divorce papers and exited him off the premises. Devin Braxton says, wife is running the business into the ground. Shout out to my dog, Classy Beats in the building, says, salute to my dog, AD. Shout out to y'all. Listen, I appreciate y'all. Let me make sure. I want to make sure that I ain't missed nothing. Hold on. All right, we good. We good. Shout out to everybody that's been holding us down. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Let me acknowledge my dog. My dog, Chef. Shout out to the chef. Shout out to Chef Shapino. Chef Shapino says he's certified. He's certified in the streets of Houston. His nickname is actually Turkey Leg. He put the biz in her name, and that's how she fired him. And any staff who knew of the infidelity, #scorched earth. So who was the chick that he busting down? I do check my emails, Messi. I check my emails. Absolutely. I check my emails. So he in the streets. They in the streets. So they run in a turkey leg hut, but they really a street family. Street fitted. Damn. All right, y'all. Listen. Listen, y'all. Listen, Linda. Listen, Linda. Listen. I love y'all. He smashing employees, so he was mixing business with pleasure. He ain't had no discipline. Osriel, tell me it ain't true. All right, I'm going to deep dive a little bit harder into this, all right? I'm going to deep dive a little bit harder into this. But give me some time. Sister! She said my live yesterday was like the Marvel credits. That's because I had to keep coming back so I can kick it with y'all. Shout out to Sister. I appreciate y'all. So listen, Anton has to get to work. And the way that I work is I get it popping with my Apple Vision Pros. So I got to be out here working, making it happen, making the streets shake. And we going to get it in, all right? I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all tune into the Millionaire Morning Show in the morning. We still going to have a whole nother show in the morning. So we are not going without giving you a show. Yes, we do have a show popping off in the morning. So make sure y'all stay on top of things. And we got the Anton Daniels channel tonight. Yeah, it's going to be popping, y'all. Anton Daniels channel is going to be popping tonight. I got to get to work, y'all. Y'all think I'm out here playing games. No, we got to get to work. Taking care of business. On top of things. Shout out to Apple for the great workspace. I got my Bumblebee on. We're going to get it popping. So listen, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Oh, I was wondering why I wasn't cutting on. Because I got the freaking thing on. I'm like, why is it not cutting on? Why do I got to take it off? All right. Forgive me. I'm a C student. See if we can get it cut on today before we get up out of here. That's sweet, though, that it didn't cut on. Because I had the cover on it. All right, listen. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Anton got to make sure that I take care of the business. We on top of it. All right? Make sure y'all tune into the Anton Daniels channel tonight, and we going to get it popping. I need y'all to do me one more favor before we get up out of here, though. Make sure you guys tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Teach Hanley 30% off your first order plus a free gift. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Make sure that you guys share this with a family or a friend. We don't want to be rich by ourselves. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace. Shout out to my dog, Jay Ben says, was in incognito mode. Yeah, I couldn't see nothing. I'm like, what the heck is going on out here in these streets? And then also shout out to my dog, Bitcoin Brown says, Millionaire Morning Show, Monday from Studio B, boss. From Studio B, boss. I love y'all. I got you, Messi. I got you. I'm on top of it. I got you. Thank you, baby.